You know what that sound means? It's another episode of Game for a Movie where we ask, are you game for a movie? My name is Mike. I'll be your host. I'm joined by
Andre.
And Jill.
And Mitchell?
Yeah.
Mitchell?
Who
What?
be you?
I
my
know, it's been
God.
a minute, fam. How have we been?
Oh,
The
it's
whole
been great,
GFAM
man.
is back together again.
I
love
know.
it. I love it.
know.
It makes me so happy to see everybody
Just in
together.
time for spooky season. My
That's right.
absolute
Time for
The
favorite
spooky
time
best
of year.
season? Question
Yes.
mark?
This is-
Exclamation point?
It's up
This
there.
This is the second episode of 5 horror bad movie episodes we've got going this month. The Silence just released last week with the Stanley Tucci.
The Tooch.
The
The
Tooch.
I've got a
Love a
question. for
Tooch
you.
moment. But
Wasn't
that
enough
didn't
to
look
save
like
the
a good
movie.
Time.
Oh, I've got a question for all of you guys
Yeah.
after we talk about this movie. And I think I texted it to all of you. So if you don't remember, now gives you time before we talk
That's right.
about
I'm
this
like
bad
literally
movie.
grabbing my phone right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, you gotta look at it now and figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that after we talk about this bad movie, and of course, after we talk about what are we drinking. Andre,
Yes.
what are we drinking?
Well, I got me here the Southern Tier Pumpkin Imperial Pumpkin Ale. One of my favorites from the spooky season. It's back again and it's better than ever. It's a lovely pumpkin pie in a glass. And
Oh,
So on the
pumpkin
scale
pie
of
sauce.
squash to pie.
Yeah,
it is very
right.
pie.
Yeah.
It's very pie forward. It does not taste like a gourd. It tastes like pumpkin.
I
pie
love
filling.
my it's
But
my
that's fine. It's by
scale.
design.
Squash to pie scale.
Oh yeah.
I
This is
love
why it was
Pie forward as an adjective sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love
it's,
that.
It's
I-
solid.
Squash to pie scale is still one of my favorite
I'm not
names of
claiming
our
credit
episodes.
for coming up with the
No.
squash to pie scale.
It doesn't
but
matter.
It's a good
That's-
way of measuring a pumpkin beer
Hey,
or pumpkin
you
anything.
you brought it to the pod. You get the credit in my mind.
Right.
I'm also drinking the pumpkin. We're splitting it.
Yep.
Well,
Oh,
Andre's
okay.
doing the bulk of the heavy lifting.
She's got a taster.
I have a
Okay.
taster.
Okay.
Joe,
There
well,
you go.
quick thoughts. What do you think so far? Did you take a swig yet?
It's good. If you've ever had a bad pumpkin, I feel bad. I'm sorry for you. This year, it's a good batch. Must have been a good pumpkin crop last year. I have no idea. I don't read the Farmer's Almanac, but it doesn't taste like garbage. So yeah,
Yeah,
chills
is
up.
Is the Farmer's Almanac coming into a Back to the Future reference later in the
Is there a Back to the Future reference in the movie that I missed?
about
I've
Sports
never-
Almanac?
No,
It's a
no,
sports
but it's a sports
almanac,
almanac.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Farmer's
Biff.
Almanac, Sports Almanac. Okay, it's a stretch.
Biff
It's fine.
gains the
I
knowledge to
don't
know
know if
exactly
you
what
would
craft
want to
beers
do
to
like a
buy.
betting
It's a whole
thing on like the crop quality. Like, I guess if you know, like 3 years from now, it's going to be a great season for corn. You buy a bumper crop of corn and
It's
spread the corn.
It's Kern.
It's
I never
corn.
actually saw
It's
that
corn.
TikTok video.
Really?
No,
Just
I
not
don't
on
have TikTok.
Yeah, so
Oh.
basically,
Get
I
on
get
TikTok. Follow
No.
our
It would
TikTok.
it would have
dude.
filtered down to Instagram or
It
would've,
it
YouTube
would've, it
Shorts by
would've.
now.
I
Hey,
like
follow
my
our
meta
TikTok at
content.
Game for a Movie. Like, come
yes,
on.
follow our TikTok. I gave for the movie.
Yes.
Now,
All the
And
cool
Nerd
kids
Star.
are doing it,
Hey,
Jill.
Nerd Star.
I
Nerdstar,
listened
yeah,
to this
follow Nerdstar.
episode. I like my YouTube content to be like 55 minutes or longer.
but I do have to say I deleted TikTok because it was melting my attention span.
It
I'm
was
sorry.
melting his brain.
Yes.
Anyway,
Honestly, Kelly deletes it every week, like during
Yeah.
the work week.
she breaks
For
out
that
with TikTok.
reason. She
Yeah.
deletes it and then downloads it Friday
Re-downloads
night.
it. Wow.
It's a good self-control, I'll say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What are you guys drinking?
Mitchell,
I'm
what you
sure-
got?
I got okay, so I'm a little basic. I do not have anything spooky season
You're
yet.
basic.
Newsflash. I did buy a variety pack from Founders, and I'm currently
Okay.
sipping on All Day Crimson Sky, which is a Session Red IPA. I haven't had a red in a while, so this is pretty refreshing for me.
Nice.
What's
Mhm.
the ABV on it, if you don't mind me asking?
It's sessions.
Let me look that up for you. 4.7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Session IPA. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice and light.
yeah. Nice
Nice.
session IPA. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mike?
Oh, I got a freaking nature.
Freak
Is
of
that what
nature.
it's called?
That's literally what it's called. It's called
I need
freaking
to see this
nature.
can. Oh, okay. All right.
It's Wicked Weed is what it's called. Or what's the brewery is?
Wicked Weed. That's Wicked Weed Brewing.
Wicked Weed Brewing. It's from
Great
Asheville.
name.
Some of you guys know Ben.
Yeah.
From
I
my
know
bachelor
Ben.
party. Yeah,
I sure
exactly.
do.
Yeah,
Sure
Ben.
do.
Ben, great dude. His bachelor party was in Asheville, and we went to Wicked Weed. And I'm not joking. This place was great.
Cool.
Oh, right on.
And now that I've moved to Charlotte, Wicked Weed has become regular in
Nice.
my repertoire.
Yeah.
Their main beer is called Pernicious, and that one is probably my second favorite I've had in Charlotte.
Okay.
I could drink a Pernicious any day. The Wicked Weed Freak of Nature, I wanted to try. It's a double or a DIPA.
Dippa.
Okay.
DIPA,
Got
as we
that.
call it. And
Mhm.
also, you can see right here, hopefully, hold up. I'm trying to do it with my green screen. There we go. 8.5%.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Woo! Big boy
Sheesh.
drink. Big
Also
boy.
has my Bucky's koozie over the top of it.
Yes, of course.
so
Classic Bucky's.
I love
Buc-ee's.
that.
Yeah. I went to my first Bucky's not that long ago when we were driving home from my parents, who now live in Florida, which is still weird to me.
Mm. What town are they
Buc-ee's
in again? In Florida?
Near
What's their
Fort Myers
address?
Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's their
Their
address?
address 123 Fake Street,
Yeah.
near
Social
Fort Myers
Security.
Beach. Yeah.
Can you give me their 401ks as well? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it's
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
555
555 Klondike.
Klondike. Amazing.
But yeah, this thing is 8.5%, and that I had 6 beers before this. We're
Wow.
gonna have a good night.
Okay. All right.
Mike's ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wow.
Let's
We
do
went to a
this, man.
brewery today that was it's called Slow Play.
Okay.
They are a very big like disc golf brewery.
Oh,
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So they have like a whole disc golf course in the back that you can just kind of.
No. So they're right off of Winthrop's campus, Winthrop
Okay.
University. And Winthrop right now is hosting the National Disc Golf Championship.
So
Okay.
But
you
they
saw a lot of
sell-
disc golf today.
They sell disc golf discs.
Yeah.
There was like pros hanging out there, and including one that didn't want to know that he was he didn't want us to know that he was a pro, but also was like, yeah, I was disc golfing and I got an ace on this hole. And yeah,
Is,
So
it,
humble,
is
but
that
not humble.
is that a hole in one in disc golf terms?
yes,
Yeah.
that is the hole
Yeah,
in
we're,
one
we're
on
not
disc golf.
people.
Yeah.
Listeners.
I
And
mean,
no offense to disc golf athletes like pros. Could you pick a professional disc golfer out of a lineup?
Out of a crowd, right?
Yeah, like physically, are they different than
you know what?
normies?
Maybe if they're
Maybe.
wearing a
Maybe.
t-shirt.
Or is
that
it like the
says
men's
pro
curling
disc.
team for the U.S.
if we
Olympics, right?
weren't
Like,
at a brewery, I'd be able to say, oh, the guy with the full beard, yeah, he's probably a disc golfer.
Okay, gotcha.
okay, got it.
But
It's
I
not the
was hanging
physique,
out.
it's the facial hair.
It's
I was
not so
hanging
much
out
their
with
tone
two people that
differently.
had full beards, and then the full beard guy comes in and is like, "I'm not a pro disc golfer." Like, yeah, okay, you're a pro disc golfer.
Cool.
I mean, that you would even bring up disc golf says to me you're a pro disc golfer.
Fair
It's just
enough.
like, buddy, we weren't talking about disc golf.
Yeah, right.
He found that
Everybody
they
stop
found their
asking me about
opening
disc golf,
and they
God
took
damn it! I
it.
don't play.
You got your punter? Let's go throw a few. Like,
right.
no, I didn't even think about disc golf.
Man, that crowd sounds amazing. I
Yeah,
gotta go
that's
to that
great.
brewery.
Speaking of things that nobody talks about, our bad movie.
Wow, amazing segue.
Segue. Love it.
So
love it.
smooth.
You
Yeah.
missed
Just as
my
smooth
segues.
as
I
my
do,
all
I
day
do.
Crimson Sky.
Oh, wow,
I love it.
we're
Damn.
on it. We're potting.
Okay.
We are potting so hard right now. It's great.
All right, we got to talk about bad
We
movie.
do.
Yes.
Let's go, friends.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Urban Legends Bloody Mary, which is a part of the Urban Legend, I guess, series.
Series?
It's a trilogy
Question mark?
now, and this movie
It's a
fucking
trilogy
ended
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I had never
um,
heard of this trilogy.
it. Me neither.
Not
I was
gonna
not aware
lie.
that Urban Legend was like a prior movie series, and
There
also
was-
I assumed that it was like a bunch of other urban legends. Like, okay, this one's Bloody Mary, and then like the other one will be Big Candyman or whatever. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
Candyman is its own thing. No one can do an urban legend of Candyman because that's like a IP.
there's an IP. Okay, understood. My bad.
Well,
but
and-
you know what I
and-
mean, though. Like,
yeah. And Candyman is like particularly sweet to my heart.
I wasn't trying to drag down
No,
Candyman
no.
to this movie's level.
No,
I know.
but like, all right. So the thing about Candyman takes place in Cabrini Green. When I worked at Big Ten Network, Cabrini Green was right next to our office. There is murals of Candyman because
Isn't-
Cabrini.
Is this in Pennsylvania? Because I thought it took place in Philadelphia.
This one takes place in Utah.
No, I know
No,
this movie takes place
Candyman.
in Utah. Candyman.
No, Candyman's in Chicago.
It's Chicago. Okay.
Yes, it's in
Chicago,
Cabrini Green.
Philadelphia, not the same.
No, it's in Cabrini
Not the
Green
same.
in
Sport
Chicago.
fans would hate me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, it's not even Chicago fans would hate you for mixing that up. Philly fans would get mad at you for saying that it's in Philly. They're
No
like,
offense
no,
to
it's
Philly
Chicago,
fans.
and we
You
hate
guys
them.
are your own breed of fandom right there.
Yeah. Philadelphia
Anyway.
fans booed Santa Claus. So
Urban Legends Bloody Mary, the final film in a trilogy
yes.
series
Yes.
question mark.
I actually think they tried a
never heard
reboot
of.
already.
Did they?
Yeah, but
When
it was
did
like a
this-
direct TV.
2005. Okay.
Like a
Well,
direct.
this movie itself was
It's
a
been
direct
almost
DVD.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. The
I know,
prime
right?
time to bring it back up, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so Mitchell, you have not seen this film.
I have not seen this film. I can't wait to hear about it. I did see the very first Urban Legend, so the first chapter of this trilogy. I was younger too. I was probably in high school, so this is well after the movie actually came out in theaters. So I watched it at home at some point with some friends. But you know, in the original, Jared Leto was in that. A young Tara Reid was in that. In this one, right? This is from my very brief research into this. This stars a young Kate Mara.
Mara?
Mara.
I always
Mara.
thought Mara.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Come
a
on,
young
Mara.
Rooney Mara, apparently.
Oh, is
Wait, what?
Rooney in
There.
this too?
Rooney's
No
like
Like
way.
she's like an extra.
Rooney's like
Gotcha.
a student in the high school.
I see. So this is the only movie of the franchise that went straight to video.
Yes.
This did
Yes.
not get a wide release, which
No. And
this tells me everything I need
And
to know.
if you're
Yeah.
wondering why I chose this one, it's because it was Kate Mara.
Right.
So what I've
Okay.
been trying to do lately with the bad movies is pick people that are like, oh, I
Recognizable.
recognize that person. Why'd they go into this movie?
Okay.
Well, right. Well, this is more like this is probably she like one of her first movies she probably
Oh, yeah.
filmed, right?
This was
Oh wait,
definitely-
no, bro. Like I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. Like she
It
was
might have
in
been her
movies
first
since
headliner.
like '99. But yes, you're right. This is her first leading role.
This is
most
the
likely.
first. Yeah, this is probably the
Yeah.
first leading role. Besides Fan Four Stick.
Oh my God, Fan
Oh,
Four Stick.
that's-
You're
Let
welcome.
But she
before.
had House of Cards by Fan Four Stick.
Yeah,
House of Cards.
yeah.
is-
I just
you're
wanted
right,
to
she's
remind
in
you of
House of
Fan Four
Cards.
Stick. She also was in Transcendence, which is another bad movie I've covered on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I just
can't wait.
wonder.
I'll say this, in the same year, she also starred, obviously not in a leading role, but she did star in Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain. That's
Brokeback
right. She's
Mountain,
oh my
look
God.
at her.
So
Who
an
she
Oscar
plays-
caliber film.
Who
and
does
then
she
a
play in
direct-
Brokeback Mountain?
She plays
The younger version of one of the characters, right?
Alma
Yeah.
Jr. Age
Yeah.
19.
age 19. Is
Okay,
that
yeah, younger
was
character.
that Anne Hathaway's character? I'm trying to remember.
Michelle Williams.
that's
character.
Michelle Williams'
Michelle
character.
Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michelle
yeah,
Williams.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
So younger version of
Yeah.
Michelle Williams.
Yes.
I'm not joking. Like normally on this stuff, I need to look it up and everything like that. You asked questions as I was figuring it out, and it just worked perfectly that I can go, oh, Alma Jr., age 19.
Right.
So,
Well done. Well done.
I-
Well done.
Yeah.
I will say that if you've ever seen the episode of Supernatural that is also about Bloody Mary, it's far scarier.
I'm
than this.
I'm sure it was much more well done than this movie.
Oh, definitely.
The
Like,
Winchester
I've seen that
brothers
one,
come
and
to
I love
town.
that one. I love
Yeah.
that one so much
Great
better than this
episode.
shit.
That's actually
Yeah.
a good jumping off point because this does really feel like like straight to not even just DVD but like TV, like super low budget, like
This feels like a bad Supernatural episode.
yes,
Yes,
right.
a
Well, like it
long
would be like
episode of
like the
Supernatural.
third episode
Yeah.
of a very forgotten like horror
It's like a
TV
Buffy,
series that didn't make
a
it
bad
past the
Buffy
first
clone.
season.
I mean, let's just talk about the very beginning. Starts with like a word art title sequence.
Yes. Oh
Like-
man, the power of the word art titles.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Like
I knew
it's
I was
like
gonna have a
Urban
blast.
Legend.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
And then we're
Like-
put right into a flashback of the late 60s in front of a classic California high school standing in for something in Utah.
69.
1969. And we see
Drink.
some, a bunch of girls going to prom or homecoming, some school dance that
It's
people did.
homecoming.
It was
Well,
homecoming.
no,
It's homecoming because it lines
it's-
up.
it's
Yeah.
hold for homecoming.
Well, no, and that's
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
Utah,
part
it's Salt
about
Lake
it
City.
is so the description of this movie before I read it was about prom, and
What?
literally they say it's homecoming.
Oh,
both
that's a
of
fuck
them.
up. Yeah,
It's
you're
not.
right.
Yeah,
It's
Doesn't make any
homecoming-
goddamn sense.
All right, so yeah, we'll set the scene. So as we're saying, Flash opens horrible title sequence.
horrible.
Someone was really proud of their ward art skills. 1969,
I'm a
following
digital
a bunch of
artist.
girls. They're going to homecoming. There's photos, there's laughs, there's guys putting drugs in the fruit punch.
These are all football players too, by the way. They're all in their
Rohypnol.
Letterman jackets.
Rohypnol.
Yeah,
Rohypnol
Rohypnol.
is snake
Putting
draft.
Rohypnol in all
I
their,
learned that
their
I
dates'
can't
drinks.
spell Rohypnol while trying to type my notes. Probably a good thing.
Yeah, probably.
Probably good.
Yeah.
We see the girls getting served the roofied punch by their dates, the football team.
Yep.
And yeah, they're laughing, more photography, ha ha ha. We love homecoming. All right, girls, why don't we go somewhere else? And now the girls are roofied, and one of them, Mary, she doesn't drink any of the punch. So she kind of wisens up to the fact, this doesn't look like a good scene. Get away from me, boyfriend. I don't want to be with you. Off she runs. Boyfriend follows. And this basically sets up everything. She thinks she's escaped him. He comes out of the shadows. Oh no, it's totally fine. Don't worry about them. All is good here. She's like, I don't think so. And then he shoves her. She hits her head. Down she goes. Bam. Mary is dead.
Giant gash on her head. He looks down and tries to and checks for her pulse, and then he freaks out. And then one of his football friends will be like, "Hey, where's Mary? I don't know, dude. I thought she was in here, but I can't find her. Okay, well, we're gonna go have fun with the other ladies that we date drug, whatever, Rohypnol." Bye.
And we'll also say that, like, we never see it, but Mary apparently gets put in a trunk in this school, like, authorized personnel only area.
Right. This is all taking place. The shoving and the hitting of the head, the gashing and stuff is in like the suit. I understood
The
it
boiler
as
room.
the boiler
The
room,
abandoned
right.
wing of your high school.
Of the high school. Yes.
It's a boiler room. Let's just call it what it is, because I have a note about boiler room later.
But it's also like up a staircase? Question mark.
Yeah, right. Like it was a boiler room, but like they went upstairs, so I don't like it was like it's.
Did they go upstairs?
They
I thought they went downstairs.
No, but like so.
Maybe I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
As Mitchell, maybe
I couldn't
you
tell.
attended
The
a
editing
high
wasn't
school-
great in this movie.
Maybe Mitchell or you, the
Yes.
listener, have attended a high school that have a cordoned off wing that just says personnel only, and when you go behind the door, everything is just in bad, rusty, old ass shape. Like nothing is built. There's no construction going on, but you've got rust, you've got detritus, you've got random chests with locks on them.
Yeah,
know,
that
standard high
sounded
school.
like
That's the
that was-
important thing. Locks.
That
on
was the
them.
boys' locker room for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Your
Yeah.
American high school, if you will.
That's
Naturally.
classic American. high
Missing
school
the
right
Axe
there.
body spray, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
yes.
where Mary takes a tumble, hits her head, seemingly dies, and jock boyfriend is like, "Oh no, what do I do? Oh, I'll just shove this body away somewhere."
But they don't show that.
No, they do not.
They don't.
Right.
They don't.
Cut
They
to
really
present day.
Because they're trying to hide something from you that
Right.
I'm going to
It's
ask
supposed to be
later if you
yeah.
can figure it out.
Uh,
Because this is, like I said in our text chain, this is a very predictable movie.
it was yes,
predictable.
exactly. It's just like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. We pivot to present day. We have
2005.
2005 present day.
2005
Yes.
present day.
We're in the present.
Almost 30 years after 69.
Yes. And how do you go from
More
like
than-
horrific
No.
murder to present day? A
Wait.
sexy girl sleepover party.
Wait,
It's 35.
they
2005
said 30
is.
years later.
Do you really think this movie can do math?
So is the 99 then?
35 years later
Yeah,
is what I'm
35
saying.
years
on
They had
later.
cell
Wikipedia.
phones.
Yeah, right,
But
right.
They had
30,
cell phone and
said
internet.
30 years later.
Okay, well then it's apparently 1999 and everyone has flip phones for some reason.
I
That's
literally,
weird.
wait, actually,
Um,
like, I'm looking at my notes going, they said 30 years later.
Okay.
So,
we're gonna
according
have
to
roll the tape on that.
Wikipedia, it
It's
says
35.
35 years,
Right.
and then it's
Yeah, they
In the
fucked up.
movie,
2004.
they say
They
30
fucked
years,
up.
but I think they're kind of rounding up.
Okay,
I,
sure.
I
whatever.
also wasn't drunk for this screening, so
So your
One
numbers
time
were
I
right.
actually believe my numbers.
Okay.
If I
it's-
was drunk, yes, 35. Okay, fine, whatever.
Fair enough.
I
No,
think
but
they
it's
said 30
definitely
years later.
through 2005 because our main girl wears a skinny scarf later that is
Yeah.
very of the
Yeah,
year.
no, I agree.
And the
completely.
Uggs. There are so many Uggs
There's
in
a
this
lot of
movie.
Uggs. Oh my god, there's so many Uggs. I'm
Yep.
glad I wasn't the only one that noticed this shit.
Yep. So as I was saying, we go from murder to present day, and what better way to kind of lead us in but a sexy girl sleepover party?
There's two
starring
pillow
one
fights
young
in
King
5
Laura.
minutes. There was
Yeah.
two
so
pillow
many
fights.
pillow
Yeah,
fights.
they
5
double up on the
minutes.
pillow fights.
Lots
and-
of pillow
and
fights,
mom-
lots
me
of crotch
up.
shots, lots of boobs.
Yes, lots of
Yeah,
boobs.
It was a lot of weird high school boob
By
shots. It
I
was not
need to
great.
look up their names, but it was Mindy first off, and what was the other girl's name? Shit.
Which
Uh,
one is Mindy? Is Mindy the busty one or the brunette?
She is played
Yes.
by Alessa Rulin,
all right,
right?
what's the other name
Maybe?
next to it?
There is a Martha. There's a
Martha.
Natalie.
Yes.
Okay.
Mindy and Martha.
Martha.
Martha,
Yeah.
why did you say that
Why'd you say
name?
that?
Oh God.
Kate Mara is among her friends. Her name is Sam. It is
Samantha?
homecoming. They're not at homecoming and having to sleep over instead because
Right,
well,
because
a
they're not
couple
like
things.
other girls. They don't
Yeah,
care
they're
about
not like other
homecoming.
girls. They couldn't get dates. And Samantha, or Kate Mara, she works for the newspaper club, and she wrote an article about the football team that kind of ripped into the fact that they're
They
not
hazed.
smart, they're not talented, but they're on the football team, so people have to put up with their shit.
Oh no,
So-
it was also like covering up their poor academic standings, so
Yes,
that
that
like,
was
they
that
would-
was
yeah, they're
part of it too.
morons.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't.
which happens
I
all the
don't-
time in
you
high
know,
school,
I
frankly,
accept
to be
that.
honest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
why
it's-
they're home.
It happens in college.
Right. Yeah. So it happens. So yeah, and then they like talk about how they're so quirky and that they're probably socially ostracized for not hanging out with the football team. And then they got talking about the urban urban legend of what had just taken place, Bloody Mary,
Bloody
and
Mary.
something about whatever.
Don't
Kmart,
say Bloody Mary
Don't
three
say it three
times because she'll
times, and so
haunt you
she's-
forever.
right. And then so Kmart of course says Bloody Mary 3 times in a row, and
With
they're all giggling while it
cheesy
happens.
bad laughing from the girls, by
Yes,
the way.
very
like
bad.
every
Yeah,
time
so-
she goes,
very
Bloody
bad,
Mary.
obviously dubbed over laughing.
Also, you're kind of selling it short because of the way the scene plays out. So like they talk about it, they kind of giggle and laugh, and then collapse collapse on the ground, giggling, holding pillows.
Yeah.
And she's like Bloody Mary, ha ha ha, and the friend's like, oh, so funny, ha, ha. Does it a second time, same amount of like canned laughter, and she does this like wicked smile, and then does it for a third time, and the room is just silent. But the way that she says it's like, oh, I'm talking about something naughty. Ha ha ha. It's like, no, you're summoning a horrible specter.
A demon.
Good for you, girl.
Yeah.
So that's how we kind of set up the film. Her twin brother at some point, David, does show up. He makes an appearance. They kind of
Yep.
like shoo him out of the room. He compliments Mindy and her breasts.
Yes. Very
and
weird.
the scene ends.
Well, we forgot to talk about the parents, the mom
Yes,
and the
we get
stepdad.
we're introduced to mom and stepdad.
And stepdad. The stepdad is currently running for council, whatever. There's an
Mayor?
election season. Mayor? I don't know, whatever.
Mayor.
Local
He's running
election.
for mayor. Ed Marinaro.
Yeah. And they're like commenting about like how like, oh man, like is this a normal sleepover party or whatever? Blah.
And
like,
he
just
takes
to
a
establish
peek at
them.
the girls.
He takes
and it's
the
awkward.
stepdad takes a
Creepy.
peek at the girls and it's weird.
Yes, he's creepy.
It's weird.
You get creepy vibes off dad.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, so like after the Bloody
Stepdad.
Mary thing, What's
Stepdad.
that?
Wait, we gotta address the stepdad.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
of
is
course,
stepdad.
sorry.
He is not.
Oh, that's how they get
their
around
biological
it. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know this trick.
yeah. I've seen this one before.
Yep.
What was it? Oh yeah, so then we have Bloody Mary gets summoned. We see her specter show up in the street in front of the house. I will say, by the way, the establishing shot of this goddamn house was used at least 7 times in this movie.
You could take a
have
drink every time they
You could
show
play
it.
exactly. You could play a drink.
I was gonna say,
about the
I think
reused
7's
establishing
low.
shots. Yeah, and
It's
just
the same
exact
shot
angle.
too.
Every
Same
single
exact
time.
angle.
Yeah.
It was like very like what is going on here? Anyways,
Yeah.
so then that happens, and then suddenly we cut to school the next day, and the 3 girls are missing, and that's like the movie just kind of takes a pause for 15 minutes of like what happened to the girls, like, and you're like I don't know what it was trying to do, where it was like, oh hey, like did Bloody Mary kidnap
It
them
was-
somehow?
Yeah.
But it doesn't really land because they quickly resolve the fact that like, oh no,
No,
it
they
turns out
didn't,
it was the
they didn't even
football.
address that it was Bloody Mary. They were just like,
No.
oh, they
They're
just
just missing.
disappeared.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just disappeared, and it's like there's just 5 minutes of like the mom being worried sick, the brother being worried sick, and then it just very quickly resolves of like, oh, they should like literally like they're like getting like PIs involved and stuff like that.
And I also want to address, so the first school scene, they're in the science class
Yeah.
talking about gorillas and how gorillas work as a unit.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
introduced to the football team.
As we're
Yeah.
introduced to the football team, and like literally the science teacher is like, the gorillas are ruled by a dominant. And this football player walks through the scene at this point and like grabs a piece of paper about
Is this
where
Buck?
they go. This is Buck. It's like where'd they go? And he grabs a piece of paper and you're like, oh, cool. Thanks, film. heavy-handed, letting me know that Buck is the
football team
dominant.
did it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, the movie doesn't try to hide the fact that the football team probably was involved. Buck, who was our main jock, Buck Jacoby, he has a girlfriend named Heather. Heather's a
Jacoby.
little worried because
No,
she was friends.
Jacoby.
Jacoby.
I'm gonna call you out for this.
Sorry,
Jacoby.
right. They say Jacoby. Buck
Jacoby.
Jacoby. Buck Jacoby. His girlfriend
I
Heather.
didn't want to call you out for it, but I
No,
needed
it's
to call
fine.
you out for it. Yeah.
Jacoby sounds like
Jacoby.
perfect for
Jacoby
this
would
movie,
be
though.
like,
Mhm.
It
all
would
right,
be
and this
perfect for
movie's
this
very
movie.
heavy-handed. Don't
Can-
get me
can
wrong.
that
It could have
version of-
been.
Can Buck Jacoby be played by an actual teenager rather than
Right.
Buck Jacoby
Yeah,
being
we should
played
also
by a
say that all of these people
27-year-old?
look pushing
Yeah.
30, but that's like
Neither here nor
that's
there.
every movie, you know.
Yeah.
So Buck's girlfriend Heather, she was friends with Sam at some point. That kind of established that. She's worried, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it." But you know, like I said, the film does a pretty heavy-handed job of making sure they're in on it. So later that day, the PIs, as Andrea was saying, get involved, and then Sam just kind of wanders
Yeah,
into
she
the
literally
house.
just like they're focusing
She's
on the
back.
mom and the brother like trying to console each other, and then Kate Mara just walks onto the screen, and it's just like
Covered in
like
mud.
What's that?
Covered in mud.
Covered
And it's
in
like,
mud.
oh my
Great.
god, you're back! Wow, I'm so like there's like just no lead up to it. It's just like, oh hey, she's back. We resolved this plot thread. Yeah, it turns out the jocks, they're just being goofy little guys and taking them out to the forest and playing a prank on them. You know.
Yeah.
It's,
We get hints to it, but yeah, as Andre was saying, the jocks broke into their home, kidnapped them, dumped them like 20 miles out of town in a locked room, and then somehow they got out and came back, but they're not saying anything. So
they said they specifically said like they ran medical tests on the three girls
Yes,
and they
they were
weren't
not
abused in any
Yeah,
way
they weren't
or
raped.
whatever. So the movie made a point to say
Oh,
the
yeah.
jocks didn't.
I also
do
want to make
anything.
a comment at this point that David Owens, the brother,
yes.
he was Rez in Spy Kids 3D.
Yeah, I saw that. So
Oh,
he's
wow.
one of the kids
Oh.
that Junie, I think, meets. He's either one of the kids that Junie meets in the very beginning when he goes into the game, or he's one of the programmers.
I think he's
Don't
Don't
one of
ask
the
why I
programmers
remember the
'cause he-
movie that well.
Well, his picture in IMDb looks like a comb over, like
Oh, I'm
he was
looking right
born
at
in
him.
1987.
No, he's the picture for and like the thing that is for Spy Kids. So he's one of
Yeah.
the kids he meets in the very first level. So he's not a
Oh,
programmer.
Lord.
He's a play tester.
Mm.
But the day after the girls come back, they're back in school, and this is the point where the movie's narrative really pissed me off because somebody utters the line, "Oh, maybe the girls did this to themselves as a little prank."
Yeah, for attention. Yeah, is what they
Oh,
tried.
that
to...
was the line. Okay,
got
I was trying to
roofied,
figure out. Yeah,
And they roofied themselves. They drove
Yeah.
themselves 20 miles out of town, and they're back. And ha ha ha, pesky girls.
And
I
so,
also
go for it, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I agree completely.
And
I
a
also
woman
think-
wrote this movie.
Yes, I also
Or
think
did
the
this movie, at
brother was
least.
like way too attentive to his sister. Just so we're clear on this part, because
Oh, I
like
have
he was
I'll say something about the brother later.
okay. All right, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going then. We're
So
good.
basically, for the rest of the big chunk of this fucking movie is just a very generic like killing
Maybe
spree.
they roofied themselves.
Right.
Oh no.
Oh well, yeah,
Oh
but
no.
like
Okay. Sorry.
what? Oh, okay.
What?
Well, it's
Huh?
just basically for the next hour of this movie. Oh my god.
Huh?
Next hour of this movie is just a one-on-one kill sequence where Bloody Mary goes through the whole football team basically, right?
Yeah, all of
Yeah,
those
but we
involved
have
with
to
the
talk about
abduction.
those because literally one of them
Oh,
was
sure.
a tanning bed.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you mean the part of the movie where I saw a man like a view of a man's balls I didn't need to see?
Yes.
Yeah, it was very
Straight
strange.
down Main Street.
Yes.
I love that sequence though. Like that was so
I
hilarious.
also love the fact
Roger.
that they address that he goes to the tanning salon and his ass is bare, like his ass is like white.
He wears his tiny
Yeah.
whities.
Right.
Right,
Okay, so the lead up
yeah.
to this scene is that one of the football kids, the two of the jocks are making fun of another guy in the showers, and they're like, "Wow, like your
Roger.
ass is so white."
Roger.
Poor Roger. They're
Roger
making fun of
Dalton.
his white ass. And, he obviously takes it to heart because the next scene is him going to a tanning salon.
Well, so they establish why he goes to the tanning salon. It's to
Yeah,
see
'cause
his
somebody put his
the
white ass.
The
lady who
tanning
works
girl
there,
Betsy.
Yes, that's true too. You're
who's
right.
also
yeah.
so Roger is played by an actor who's in their mid-20s at best,
Yeah.
but he's supposed to be an 18-year-old, 17-year-old. the actress who plays Betsy is in her late 20s, early 30s, but she's supposed to be like a 25-year-old something, hitting on a 16 to 17-year-old.
Mm.
And also
And
says
it's
like, "Oh my
yeah.
God, oh no way,
Yeah,
oh my
she's on
God."
her shtick is that she's the flighty blonde who's always on the phone and like, oh my God, oh my God. My responsibilities don't mean
way.
anything as long as this conversation has to happen. So, as Andre said, we start to see the killing spree. So Bloody Mary is taking revenge on all of those on the football team. Sam is getting like flashes of Bloody Mary, but doesn't
Right,
totally know
she's
what
like
it means.
suspecting something is off, but the vibes are just
Doesn't
off right
know.
now. She doesn't
Yeah.
know.
Her friends, by the way, completely disappear from the
That's
movie.
true. Wow, you're right. There were 3 girls that were captured, and they're
No,
just out of the movie after
they
that.
decide that she's the problem.
They
Oh.
ditch
like-
her. But like it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that they
It's
just
it's
ditch
very
her.
weird because nobody addresses the fact that they think it's her. That's what bugged me
Right.
about this
Yeah,
part.
they set this up after the second murder that they think
Right.
she's
So basically, the
involved
football
somehow.
players are going down one by one, which we'll get through.
And
Yeah.
like Buck is like sure that it's Samantha pulling this, like game revenge, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But the girls never address that they think it's her. And like this is even before we learn that Buck thinks that Samantha did it. And they sit at the science lab with where they sit next to Samantha, and all of a sudden she gets to the lab table and they just like stand up and go, yeah, we're sitting somewhere else. And they
Yeah.
don't say anything. But
Right.
it's just
okay.
like one of
I
those.
remember
It's-
that now.
it's
You're
weird that
right.
they got
and then
ab-
that was
they
the
got
end of them in that
abducted
movie.
together.
Right. Yeah.
And they set it up. It's strange. Going back to Roger, he goes to the tanning salon. He sees Betsy. Betsy lets him get in the bed. Sets him up at the tanning booth. She sets the timer. They imply that the other reason he goes is he like naps there. Like he's kind of getting tan, but it's more just to have a bed to nap in and maybe have some
He
dalliances
puts it on
with
like
Betsy.
2 out of like 15
Yeah.
for this
and that's
tanning bed.
where we get the first murder.
Right. So Betsy goes and takes a call from somebody else, and it's just
No way.
talking, gabbing on the phone for hours.
You're kidding.
And
Thermostat starts to climb.
that thermostat starts to climb. It goes from 2 to 3, and then it suddenly like goes super high, and then
So
got
many
to
shots
12.
of his
it
balls.
got to 12, and he's starting to smoke, like literally the tanning bed is smoking, and he's banging
How
on
does he
the...
not realize this, by the way?
Right.
Because he
Because-
I
never
was literally
pushed
was
the
like,
door open.
is this like a frog in hot water situation? You know what I mean? Like you're just gradually turning it
No,
up.
he figured it. He
But he
figures it
figured
out.
You know, he's like, oh, Betsy,
Can
help,
we
blah,
talk
blah."
about the camera angle though?
Yeah.
What was the camera angle?
Oh,
The
so like,
balls.
you get, and
Balls.
and they were sure they're like, we need a goddamn inside tanning bed cam angle here.
Sure.
And it was squared right in between, like right into his groin. Like he
Balls.
had shirts on or shorts on,
Yeah.
but like
That
Full ball
camera
action.
might have been in
Between
his
balls
gooch.
and crotch.
Yeah.
Like,
What was this movie rated? In my
R.
mind, I'm thinking PG-13.
No,
this
it's
entire time.
R. It's
Oh,
R.
it's
R?
R.
It's
It's an
R?
R movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
but
that's
there's
the
no
worst part.
boobs.
It's because, well, that's the thing.
Aw.
That's the thing that bugged me about this movie. It was as R, and if you're a horror movie and you're rated R,
it's not
go
gory
for the
enough for that.
fucking gore.
Yeah, it
Go
was not
for it.
Oh,
gory
yeah.
enough for that. Yeah.
What
No,
does
they
it
went for the
matter?
curses, I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, right. Well, it was
Now-
more like I think they probably just submitted it and they just did not give a fuck enough to be like, oh, like normally they would come back
We're
and be
not
like, this is
changing
coming
it.
on,
We
like
thought
we're
it
not
was gonna
changing
be
anything. I don't
PG-13,
care.
yeah.
You know, yeah. It
Yeah, it's
definitely
rated
reads
for
like that.
strong violence, gore, drug use, and some language.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
There was
not. It's
definitely-
not. It's
well,
not. You're
There
not
was
getting
definitely
like
drug use.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's drug use for sure.
Oh, that's my favorite character.
Me too.
The drugs?
No,
No, Grace.
Grace.
Oh, Grace.
We'll
Okay,
get-
got it.
we'll
Sorry.
get
Yeah, we'll
there.
get to Grace.
So
So
Roger is flambéed.
For this death inside the tanning booth.
Yeah.
We
Remind
don't
me if
see
I'm
him die.
You don't see, okay, you
No.
don't.
No,
but
We
you-
see
you
his
just-
charred
you
corpse.
just- You just
Charred.
pan to and the charred corpse was the most hilarious fucking party Halloween lawn decoration smoking things. Like I lost my shit. That's why I love like it. Just cut. They're like
It was
you know
so
that was the
good.
whole suspense thing. Like right, they're like oh my god, I just didn't know I left him alone. And then like they pan over to the tanning salon and it's just fucking like a plastic skeleton with that's smoking. And it's just like oh my
Well, no, it wasn't even just a skeleton. The skeleton, yes, was hysterical. Then they just put like black ash around it that
Yep.
obviously wasn't like flambéed corpse.
no right.
Like it
Yeah.
was just black whatever.
it's
Just
so-
a fake
I lost my
charred
shit.
body.
It was good. Yeah.
Isn't this a death in Final Destination as well?
Yeah,
It
Like,
is.
I had a
okay.
note about this.
Yes, and
I
I
had a
told
note.
and I told
said,
Joe, I
are
was
we-
like, oh, so we're just Final Destination now.
So
Got it.
this
That's
is
what I
make
said
a
too.
let's
That's what I
take a point for this movie pulling from an existing film franchise or an existing film in general. So we got one borrowed kill sequence, etc. Mike is showing notes.
Okay, so here's my thing. I just did a quick Google. So apparently this tanning booth thing, and Mike, this could be in your notes. It happens in Final Destination 3. I can't
It's too
read it.
far.
Yeah.
Are we pulling a Final Destination with this tanning bed?
Yeah, okay,
That's
you got it.
exactly
You got it.
All right.
what I said.
So upon further review, the Final Destination does this in 2006 in Final
Whoa.
Destination 3. So
Final Destination ripped off
Final
this movie.
Destination, get fucked.
Wow. Holy shit. This
So
movie walked so Final Destination could run. Wow. That's
Is
No,
amazing.
this
this
the
movie didn't
lasting
walk.
legacy of the movie?
No, this
Yeah.
movie didn't walk. This movie died slowly on like its first leg.
It rolled.
Yeah.
Right.
It rolled very slowly.
Wow. This
And
movie
our
was
synopsis is
legendary.
going to
I'm
go
so
slowly
sorry.
if we don't keep it up, guys.
Okay,
Oh,
word.
yeah,
Okay,
let's
So
do
next
it.
kill.
Roger
Hey,
dies.
I
Well,
literally just bought the unlimited Zoom, so like, let's go.
I love it. No, I saw that
Um,
notification. I was like,
And then did
So-
you see it go away?
yeah.
So Roger dies. We cut to a funeral. The remaining football team people are glaring at Sam and her brother David. And this is about the time of the movie where Sam starts to be like, something's wrong here. Like, I feel it. So Heather, who is a girlfriend of one of the football players, she kind of has like a cagey conversation with Sam where she ultimately she comes over to the house, she gives her Sam's textbooks because Sam hasn't been in school. They have a heated conversation. Heather leaves and Sam opens the textbook to find like a letter written to Heather, but it's like handprint blood.
I
And
was
we're
just
like,
gonna say
oh,
it's written in
What
blood.
is this? End of scene. We don't know what this note is. Next morning, we wake up to Heather. And, women,
Heather.
those who have a morning routine, men,
Yeah.
women, anyone in between, maybe you do this. You wake up out of bed, stretch, you take off your top, you put on your high heels, and you go to the shower.
She does put on her high heels. We see her take off her top, and then she gets into her high heels and like
Goes
what's
into the
going on?
bathroom, washes her face, turns to the side, sees a zit, because in the middle of the night, a spider
Got
climbed
zit.
down. A
Yeah.
CGI spider.
Very
I
bad CGI
unfortunately had
spider.
to
Love
ask
CGI spider.
Andre.
Yeah, that's a very bad CGI spider, and she's got the zit. She's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and so
actually
she
had to
leans
ask
into
Andre
the-
if it was
she-
real.
No, yeah, you did ask if it was real. I was like, that is not real, Jill. No.
No,
So they got Joe at least, yeah. I'm sure
Yeah,
on
they
VHS
they got
her.
her.
And yeah, she leans into the mirror and just tries to pop that fucking sucker
She does
like a
pop it.
balloon.
She
pops
does.
it, and
She
out
got a little
pops
blood
this-
on there, and that
Yeah,
actually
right.
for once freaked me out.
Ugh, I that part is just like I hate the
Dr.
zit
Pimple
popping
Popper
stuff like
fan,
that.
he
Just gets
is
me. I'm like,
not.
Yeah.
no. And so then a spider jumps out of it and it's like,
Out of
oh,
her
whoa,
face.
that's so
Out of
weird.
the zit in their
out
face.
of the zit, out of the open,
Ripping
open
off the
zit wound.
Covenant, which I think came out after this.
Oh,
as
I was
well.
thinking more mummy, but sure, Covenant works too. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Zit, spiders, like
Gross.
spiders.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
spiders come out. But again, it's the bad CGI. Like I think the mummy, like when the guy gets scarabed and you see the bumps all over his skin. You know what I mean? It was
Oh,
basically
that
like
was better CGI than this.
Absolutely, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
But like,
okay.
that's 99 or whatever, right? And this is 2005,
Yeah.
and it's way worse.
Yeah.
And yeah. So she's freaking out. All these spiders are coming out of her.
Mitchell's
face
getting a spider right now.
Yeah, he's getting a little spider. Oh,
Ah.
nice. The broom.
Yes, and while this is happening, Sam, who's on her way to school, she can hear Heather because their neighbors screaming. So she goes up to the house. She's knocking on the door. Heather, are you in there? Even though she can hear Heather screaming, door is obviously locked, and it's kind of getting annoying. Why don't you just break that goddamn window, Sam? Obviously, this woman is in duress. So much so that through the shock of spiders coming out of her face, she trips, falls forward. Her
No,
face
the
hits
mirror just
glass.
exploded.
The mirror just
Oh,
explodes.
I
yeah.
thought she hit
No,
her
the
face
mirror
into
The
the
mirror
zoom.
just
exploded.
explodes. Yeah.
Okay,
And
I
like
thought it was a
lodged in her
choice.
face.
Yes,
like
this is where we get the
mirror
worst
shards.
CGI.
Like it
So this-
literally.
They were using CG in this movie. No, like how much practical effects were happening here? Because that's the beauty of
Fair
horror.
amount. Fair
You
amount.
could do a lot with very little budget wise to pull
Bloody
out those
Mary
kind of
herself
effects.
is all practical effects.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
This
The
is
mirror
not
was
an
not.
example
The
of
spiders
one
were not.
The
being a
spiders were
practical
not
effect.
right. Anything that was moving, like CGI, but like
Yes.
like wounds after the fact were practical. Does that make sense? You
Yeah,
know?
so the makeup was done and all
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
you. I got
So
you.
the mirror
Ain't
explodes.
great.
It gets lodged in her forehead. Like any smart, responsible human being with glass in their face, she starts to pull it out of her face.
Yeah, just
And blood is dripping down. Sam is like, Heather, what's going on? Let me in. And then finally gets like the nerve to climb a tree to actually help her screaming, dying friend. And then finally, Heather attempts she pulls the glass out, and there's a really weird CGI cut where it's not clear if she like pulled her face off.
yeah, it looked like she was
or
tearing
she
her
just
own.
She
pulled
definitely
face off
pulled
for a
her
second.
face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie later says, "Oh, she pulled her face off," and I'm like, "That's what I was supposed to be looking at."
Yeah, she definitely pulled her face off.
Even though the effects and practical effects did not really convey that well. Heather dies from blood loss and
Heather.
spiders.
Gone.
Probably
So what's
the
our
most
body
orig-
count at this
two.
point?
No,
Two.
three
Two?
with Mary.
3 with
Okay.
Mary. Yeah, 3 with
And
Mary.
are we
Mary.
supposed to believe Mary is now doing this to everyone else?
Yes.
Yes.
Gotcha.
There's been
Okay.
enough context clues to kind of plot you there.
Mary is definitely dead. Like we know
Mary-
she's dead.
But
Mary-
now she is reincarnated as Bloody Mary. Or
Right.
is
Yes,
reincarnated.
So, like,
Well,
when
we learned
Kmart
something
says-
later.
When Kimar says that third thing, it cuts outside their house and you see a phantom appear suddenly. So you know, like, okay, it's her. You know,
And
It's a
when we
ghost.
get to a certain character, I'll tell you about the idea that
Yeah.
they
Okay. Okay.
So Heather is now dead. Buck is pissed. There's another
And I
football
included
guy.
at this point that half of this movie is just Buck looking sad/angry at a funeral.
yeah.
yes,
That's really
yes.
true.
There is a lot of
Um,
funeral scenes.
there's
That's
a
right.
lot of
They show
funerals.
every funeral, which is just like, what is?
Yeah, it's
why?
true.
This is
Um,
also where Martha and Mindy get away from her at science class. Like,
yeah, so they're
assuming
officially
Yep,
done with
yep.
her. Sam's trying to convey to her brother, who has been on her side for most of this movie. He was very upset.
Yes.
Like he also figured out that the football team was behind their abduction.
his name is David, just for
David.
future.
So yeah, David was on her side, and she's like, "I think it's this." He's like, "You're crazy." So all right, well, that's not helpful. Now let's have another murder. So murder
Tom.
number 3, Tom, who I have to say brought this upon himself.
Yes, he did.
How does he die, Mike?
Okay, so Tom was told by Buck. So Tom's dad has gas cans behind his house that his father keeps. And so basically the idea is Buck wants to burn down the Owens family's house.
Because he wants
Because
revenge for Heather.
He wants revenge for Heather. And so they will kill David, they'll kill Samantha, they'll kill the rest of the Owens family. So Tom's like, okay, fine. Puts the gas cans in his car, which is a truck, and he's driving down the road, and all of a sudden he sees this figure in the middle of the road, and he thinks he's going to hit it, so he drives off the road. He swerves. It's Bloody Mary that he sees in the road. He didn't hit her or anything like that. He looks, he like freaks out. Nothing. Okay, fine. I finished my beer. I'm going to grab another beer from the truck. Grabs another beer, cracks it open, starts drinking, and realizes he has to take a piss. So
As
he
you
goes, as you do, yeah. Like I'm
When you
thinking
can be
about
on the
taking.
side of the road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
drain
sure,
the
why
veins
not?
sometimes. You know, like
I'm
whatever.
thinking about taking a piss right now. Like I said, this is beer number 7. So
Oh
like
my
I'm
God.
thinking about it.
That's
yeah.
wild. That's
Ugh.
wild.
What?
Don't be a Tom in this situation.
Don't be a
Mike.
Tom.
Yeah, don't be a Tom, Mike. Jesus,
Ugh.
man.
I have a toilet right there. It's fine.
It
Tom,
doesn't say
however,
caution electric.
Yeah.
Tom, however,
Takes his
decides to
pee
go
spots.
piss on this fence in the middle of the road, or like on the side of the road. It's got like a, like a divot, everything like that. He decides he's going to take a piss on this fence
Natural.
that has a sign that says high voltage, but for whatever reason, it's off.
Danger.
It's off the fence. It's not there.
Oh, that's right. It's on the ground.
It's on the
that was
ground,
excuse.
yeah.
Right. So like it pans,
he
it shows it on the
tests
ground.
it.
Yeah.
Like he
Show
even
don't
tests
tell.
it.
Show don't tell, right?
right.
Yeah.
Little camera.
He does
Yeah.
a little. He does a little. He does
little movie
key
magic
trip.
for you,
Little,
right there.
He
little
does a little
storytelling.
trickle.
for you.
He does a little trickle. He's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna
Yeah,
test
this is
this
working
fence.
for me.
And like, whoa,
Yeah.
this fence is really taking my pee. That's
It's
great.
fine, yeah. And then of course we see Bloody Mary's hand on like a switch.
Breaker.
Yeah, and it's just
Just starts jerking him off.
Just starts jerking him off.
No.
As he's pissing, Bloody Mary's hand flips the switch, and of course everything
He
starts
flies in the
electric.
air.
Electric current goes right up to his dick, and he flies away.
and his
And a
dick is
pratfall.
blown off.
Smoldering crotch.
This movie now sounds incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And then
This
it
was
pans to
definitely
the
a
next
highlight.
morning, and like
the
the
police
cops
are even
looking.
like his cock blew off.
Yeah, right. And then like they pan to his corpse, and his crotch is still smoking.
It's still
amazing.
smoking.
This is like
So
hours.
yeah, that
after
body
the
was
fact.
lying there in the streets of Utah.
I don't know.
for
I
Okay.
guess the
12
kid
hours.
just blew his dick off. I don't know.
All right, blowing
Poor
your dick
guy.
off is a great time to take a break because we have to introduce our podcast that got the bad movie right, and we have their promo to play during this part.
Okay.
Love it.
It is our friends at Doom Generation. Doom Generation, absolutely love them. I'm not even joking. This is one of those podcasts that I absolutely love. They play along with all of our guessing games, and they just haven't gotten it until now. Their Twitter/X/ whatever the fuck we're calling it is at Doom Gen Pod. It's let the dames of Doom take you on a hilarious and raunchy journey of the movies that doomed them. This is going to be their promo that we're going to play. We love them dearly. So Doom Generation Pod. Here you go. Here's your podcast promo.
Did you grow up with a lack of parental supervision?
Do you know all the lyrics to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Remember Mayor McCheese and the Fry Guys?
Have an inexplicable love for the California Raisins?
Can you remember Madonna's original face?
Then you might be a part of the Doom generation.
Laugh until you cry with us each week as we stumble blindly through the memories of the movies
And other random things.
that doomed us to be the salty, sarcastic, sardonic ladies you want to hang with.
You know us, you love us, you can't fucking live without us.
Doom Generation, available everywhere you find podcasts.
I have to pee really badly.
Do your thing, dude.
Yeah. Pause.
Get over there. So I'm looking.
I'm good.
So I'm looking through this movie, just like the talent who's involved here. And if you go to like Wikipedia and go to the cast, it's incredible just because of how expansive Wikipedia is.
Yeah.
How many actors don't have Wikipedia articles? Like
That's true.
it's
There's not a lot of blue links.
incredible.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, like Kate Mara, Rooney Mara, as y'all mentioned. And then I'll say this, the writer, I didn't know why I recognized his name, but I clicked on him and his name, or one of the two writers, Michael Dougherty. Yes.
Oh, that
So
does sound familiar.
he wrote a lot of the Godzilla movies, like the recent ones that have come out. So that's why I recognize it. But he also wrote X2
X2.
before
No.
this
Great
movie.
X-Men movie.
He wrote this. He wrote X2 before. I was like, oh man, he probably got his start. Like, cool. He wrote
Yeah.
X2.
So my
X2
thing
was
is,
good.
I wonder if he wrote
wrote
this
Trick or Treat.
script. I wonder if he wrote this script as like a spec script before he got X2, and then it got produced like after X2 came out. Like
Yeah.
that is sometimes what happens.
He also
but-
wrote Superman Returns.
Yeah, he did Superman. He was doing like big budget movies.
Yeah.
And
I like
random-
Godzilla King of Monsters, by the way. I don't understand the hate for it.
I like
And-
Godzilla versus Kong better. I just thought it was just silly and goofy, and I loved it.
Right.
Millie Bobby Brown's character got slapped in the face by a stupid stick, which made Godzilla
That's-
versus Kong really distracting.
Yeah, that's true too. King of the Monsters to me just looked awful. Like, but they all don't look great. But the climax for King of the Monsters really bothered me because it's like in the dark and it's just like I don't know.
When they're in Boston and Ghidorah.
Yeah,
and
it's just-
yeah.
Right. I wasn't a huge fan of it. But yeah, anyway, this dude had like, look, these aren't Oscar winners.
No,
we're
but they're
talking
big
about,
budget
but they're
and
big
successful.
budget movies, and they're
Yeah.
trusting him to write these franchise films, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my god, where the hell did Urban Legends
I
come
liked
in?
X2. X2 is
X2 is, I think,
That's probably
it
my
should
favorite
hold up
X-Men
pretty
movie.
yeah,
well.
right. I was like, I think it's either that or
That
First
was-
Class, and
was
Yeah.
that-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
First Class is dope.
2003.
Yeah.
So when did Spider-Man 2 come out?
that's 2004.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
before Spider-Man 2 came out, X2 was like the good super.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
X-Men
100%.
1 is pretty good. I haven't seen that movie in a long ass time, but I remember
The original X-Men, yeah.
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 he's
Oh
really
yeah.
good.
The first two
Yeah.
X-Men I thought were really good.
And then
for
three.
sure.
Yeah, well, and
is
three
the
have
music.
Three. Yeah.
He
yeah,
did write
yeah.
Apocalypse too, so
Ooh.
he's got
Apocalypse is
some
not
bad
good.
days.
No, but he got the bag.
He
And
did.
in the
Versus-
Godzilla movies, look, the basically the threshold for shitty writing versus just I want to see monsters fight each other, like he's in a good spot. You could
Yeah.
just
Right.
write Godzilla fights King Ghidorah and you're set. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
As it should be.
I'm really excited for the new Empire. I think that'll be a fun movie
I'm
next year.
excited.
Yeah.
I love my giant thing punching giant thing.
Yeah, those are easy movies to
Fires
get
all
behind.
endorphins.
Punching giant thing.
Um, so back to Bloody Mary.
Bloody
Mm.
Mary.
So two of the three footballers plus girlfriend are dead.
Yep.
We've got Buck left. He's the last man standing, and he's pretty pissed because his girlfriend's dead. His two best friends are dead. He's directed that anger towards Sam. Sam's like, something's afoot. Brother, David, believe in me. And this is the point in the movie where David just goes from being like, you're kind of likable, to being fucking annoying. Because he's like, shut up, Sam. They're just dying. Like,
Well, and they're
it's
twins
not
too.
supernatural.
Like,
You know what I called him?
Huh.
I dubbed him a pube.
Yeah, Jill was like literally like while they're like having their big scene of like, no, Sam, I think you're being ridiculous. There's no way something else is at play here. And like Jill's like, quit being a pube. And I'm like, well, what?
What's a pube? Break that down for me, Jill.
yes.
It's the character that up until this moment has been like on your side or on the side of the audience, so the audience can get on board with them. And then the movie just takes a left turn in the writing, and they go from kind of being with the main character and supporting them to just being an idiot, where they're like, no, you're crazy. It's common sense. It's not a supernatural specter. They're just dying.
Yeah,
Duh.
he's like
So
that guy you
don't
talk
be a
to.
pube is the next T-shirt that we're doing.
Basically.
Should it just be a single curly Q?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a curly-
No,
Oh,
that's
I think
what
the
he's
P
being.
will be like a curly P.
Oh
Like-
God.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Being
right,
a
yeah.
cube, it's like, why are you not supporting your
I can
sister?
do an opposite
Right.
with the B.
It's the vibes of like when you're talking with like a friend and then they're like, oh, just to play devil's advocate, what if all you're saying is bullshit and I think you're dumb? And it's like, all right, dude, come on.
Hence a pube.
Come from wait, sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. The dog just pushed the door open up.
Hey,
It's like, where the
Adam.
fuck did you come from?
Ado was learning.
Get out of here. No, stop it. Get out of here.
Ado, say hi to me.
Ado.
Don't be a dick.
Hey.
So what's up?
I don't know if you can see him through the screen. Oh, there he
I saw him for a little
is.
bit. Oh, good
Little
boy.
puppy head.
Oh, it's been too long since I've seen Ado.
Yeah, well, I'll happily show you him, but this is not for the podcast. Don't do it. All right, sorry. Hold
Yep.
up. Let me block
So-
him.
Oh no, happy to have an Addo sighting. So her brother's not supporting her. Buck has left. This is about the time that they start to investigate what Heather gave Sam. And it's a couple of notes from an unknown address. It's like, we know what's going on. This isn't the first time that this has happened before. And that has been hinted throughout the movie. This is not the first time that girls were abducted and then guys died. So the brother reluctantly helps Sam. David reluctantly helps Sam. And they start to kind of investigate, and they figure out that in 1969, 3 girls got abducted, 2 were found, 1 was never found. And they kind of put 2 and 2 together that whatever is happening is connected to this. We find out through context
Grace even
clues.
says, wait, Grace even
we haven't met
says,
Grace. We haven't met Grace yet.
oh, sorry. I was
We're
dealing
about
with
to
the
meet.
dog.
We're
I'm
going
sorry.
to
I'm
meet
sorry.
Grace shortly.
Let's do it. Okay. sorry.
So they put 2 in together that the football team, there's connections there, and they decide to track down to the one remaining witness, Grace Taylor, the best character in this movie. They
by
track her down.
far.
By far.
No, by far.
They track her down to her house. Pull up. There's a hippy dippy love machine right in the driveway, like a BMW bus. She tells you
Volkswagen
everything you
bus.
need to know about this character, Grace. They knock on the door. The brother goes to knock on the door. She abruptly opens it. He sees his fist, and she's like, Black Power, groovy. And then they start to talk to her, and she immediately shuts the door. So like David knocks again and goes like, Black Power. And she's like, all right, come on in, you kids. And into the hippy dippy time warp apartment home they go.
David is fucking racist as shit. Let's
He
just call
is,
it
yeah.
what it is.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's not hip. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So they go inside. They see hints of weed throughout, and David makes kind of jokes about it. Sam kind of goes off and follows Grace. David goes off to another room and finds like creepy paintings. And it's not clear what we're totally looking at, but you know that they're going to come back around, including a couple horrific shots of a dog. Sorry, animal violence forthcoming. And you're making a face. You don't remember that?
No, I do remember that. No, it's my notes about, because I don't know if you know this or not from the silence. I don't know if you heard that episode yet. There was another dog that died in it.
Oh.
And literally I had a note about the fact that there's 2 dead dogs in the last 2 movies that I've watched. You monsters. Because
it's kind of a cheap trick to get people upset.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Like
works.
Kind of like
movies...
shorthand of like, let's kill the animal.
No,
like...
it doesn't work. No,
Yeah.
Stop it. It doesn't work, because I'm sitting here going, the last 2 bad movies that I've watched, they've both killed an animal to try to make me feel bad.
Yep.
And yes, I do feel bad for the animal, but I don't feel bad in the fact that I like your movie now.
No,
Right.
no.
I'm not more engaged from
It
the
works
beginning.
not
fuck
because
you.
it made me like the movie more. It works just because like, oh, I'm annoyed that they killed the animal.
Yeah.
So David sees
Sorry,
these, he
keep
comes
going.
out of the room, they sit down. Grace kind of reveals what she knows. She survived the 1969 thing. They didn't accuse any of the jocks. She won't even say who they were. But my God, she wishes she could find Mary and put her to rest, because her friend Mary was great. And, you know, maybe
She also
there's
said
a
something that
connection.
gave me. She also said something that this is why it was predictable since the beginning.
Okay,
She
go for it.
said, children always suffer the sins of their parents.
Yeah, that kind of tells you everything you need to know about the movie.
Exactly. But I want to address this at this point, because this is how I figured out that everything is who it is and everything like that.
Yeah. So I guess to set up, as I said earlier, the jocks, the football team, is kind of connected to the Mary thing. And as Grace hints, the sins of the parents will become the sins of the children. And we know that like Roger Dalton, Tom, their dads were 2 of the 3 football people there in 1969. They put that together, but they can't figure out who the other person is. So Grace will not say who it is, but she gives them a cryptic hint of like, school, you know, if you look at photographs of that night, you'll find out who it was. While this scene is happening, Buck has left town. He's taken his dog. He's getting out of Dodge. He knows something's afoot. So he goes to a motel, gets a room, spends the night, and as you do when you're 18 years old, you get a bottle of hard liquor,
That's
and you
what-
watch some
oh.
porn.
Thank God you guys are all on the same page with me. I go, these are supposed to be high school kids. How do they get alcohol this
I
evening?
don't know.
In
He must have
Utah.
got a good fake. I don't know. Although he
Yeah,
does look
right.
30, so fair enough.
No, but
In
in
Utah.
Utah. Yeah,
It's
you're
Utah.
exactly right.
Oh wow, you're right. That's a good
They
point.
have one of the
Yeah.
harshest liquor states in the country.
Yeah.
I
So
just
even
thought
though-
in general, like going with
And
my
it's
Illinois
upfront, like,
raised
Utah.
background.
Like for the record, they're not like pretending Utah. It's not Utah. The
It's
state,
Utah.
the local newspaper is like the Salt
Lake City.
Gazette
Yeah, it's
or
supposed
something.
to be Salt Lake. Yeah. Well, so he's drinking a 40 and he's just casually watching cable porn in the motel.
It's not even a
Well,
40. Just so we're clear, it's not even a 40. It's a bottle of whiskey.
Is it a bottle of whiskey? It looked
It's
to
a
me
bottle
it
of
looked
whiskey. No, he even says it. It's a bottle of whiskey.
Oh wow, word. Okay. It looked like to me like a bottle of Old English with the label ripped off or something, but
No, it's
got
a
it.
bottle of whiskey.
Damn. Okay, well then there you go. So a bottle of whiskey, watching cable porn that obviously he's not subscribed to because it's like, it's the classic like, you can only hear the audio and it's all so yeah, and
Fuzzy
he's not like
connection.
he's just watching it, you know what I mean? Like he's just hanging out. Like that's some sociopathic shit. Like you're just hanging out and just I might as well just
While his
drink
dog
some
licks
porn.
his hand.
Yes, his dog licks his
Yes.
hand. Oh, that's so fucking weird.
He
Anyways,
gets up. He decides to go get a snack. Earlier in the movie, while Sam and her friends at the slumber party were having a good time, they talked
Talking
about
about urban legends.
One of them was that a dude got his hand stuck in a vending machine, and then the vending machine crushed him. So they kind of set that up for Buck. You know, he goes to the vending machine, he can't get his chips, so he sticks his hand in the vending machine. Starts to shake, he rips his arm out, it falls to the ground, he gets free chips. Hooray. Goes back to his room and his staticky porn. Resume having his fingers licked by his dog. He falls asleep. He wakes up, porn is still going, but the dog's not there.
No, but the
Interesting.
dog was still licking his hand.
When
Just
he
so we're
went to
clear.
sleep. When he went to sleep.
No. He
Oh
put
yeah,
his hand
something's
back
licking
out.
his hand, but it's
Yeah.
not the dog.
Yeah.
It's just like slurping sounds is what
Yep.
the closed captions described it as.
Yep.
So he gets up, looks around, calls for his dog, can't find it, smells something really rancid, opens the closet, and his poor dog, who did nothing wrong, has been
Nothing.
killed.
And it says on the wall, even like dogs aren't the only ones that can lick your hand.
Or like, yeah,
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like
it's
that.
gross. It's gross. He
Mhm.
falls to the ground in horror, and the TV goes staticky, and now we get the Ring ripoff,
Yes.
where
She comes through the TV.
Bloody Mary climbs through the TV while also simultaneously grabbing his ankles from under the bed. No,
No, she was just under the bed.
she was just under the bed.
She
But
was
there's
just
some
under the
jump
bed.
scares with the so Bloody Mary's calling card is this 1950s-esque song that plays. So
Was she
maybe the
just under-
TV
okay,
played
alright,
that.
fine. You're right.
Yeah, it was just a song. The song starts playing that through the TV, and
Through
she
the TV.
climbs
Okay,
out
got
of
it.
the-
I got my thing.
Yeah.
Area,
And I'll
obviously,
give you
but-
the Ring ripoff. Yes, okay, fine. Because
But she didn't
the
come through the
song was
TV. You're
playing.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just,
she didn't come from the TV.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, she came
My
from
brain
under
is
the
struggling to
bed.
put together the kills
Yeah,
here.
she came
All
from
right.
under
So
the
we
bed.
go from the
Yeah.
Ring to the Grudge ripoff then.
Yeah. Probably,
Except
yeah,
it's-
exactly. Because this
Yikes.
movie has been nothing but ripoffs.
Mm-hmm. So that's the end of Buck. Bye-bye.
Cool. The
Buck-
football team is dead.
Whoa. We gotta address this. Stop it. So
What?
she crawls from under the bed, she breaks his whiskey bottle and stabs him
Oh,
repeatedly.
that's right.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
She
So I guess it
does.
wouldn't be
That's how I
breaks, it's
found out it was
yeah.
glass because I thought it was
Yeah.
plastic.
Yes.
Yep.
We need to address how he died because she stabbed him repeatedly.
Yep.
Or
It's
Mary's
probably
got
the
some
goriest
pent
bit of
up
the movie,
rage.
actually. Really.
Yeah, right. And
Probably.
that's the reason why I need to address it is because this is the goriest part of the movie. This might be the reason it's rated R. Probably not because it's not that bad. But
Well, right. So like, it's a thing that like I feel like if they sent it over and they could just cut it so that it doesn't show the stabbing of the face, and they would have gotten their PG-13 rating. But
yeah, exactly.
so they cared.
Exactly. Yeah, this was the part where they were like, okay, yes, we need to make this bloody.
Yeah. So Buck dies. Sam and David are like, we need to figure out who the third person is because, or like who Buck's dead. They
Yeah.
find this out, but like Sam still feels like something's going on with Mary. She has a sequence where she's sitting at her desk in her bedroom and she's this comedically large chest just to the, her side, and it starts to shake and she gets to see into what happened to Mary.
Yes.
Turns out she didn't die when she hit her head. She just went
Right.
into a light coma, where her heart stopped and she died. But then she got better. She wakes up.
She
She's
got
in this
better.
She got better. She wakes up in the chest that her douchebag would-be rapist date put her in, and she is trapped inside this locked chest.
Wait,
and that's how
hold
she
up.
really dies.
I want to know if Mitchell can guess the end.
Well,
So-
we need to find some things out.
Okay, so can we lay this out in terms of the only reason why I was able to protect Detective Pikachu?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No,
he froze.
froze!
Oh no.
He
Froze
dipped.
on
He
Detective
pulled his router and
Pikachu.
he dipped.
God damn it.
Wow, what a thing to be frozen on.
I know. That's
Damn.
unfortunate.
This is the
Huh.
part. And I love his face in this thing right now.
You should take a screenshot of that.
Yep, I am. Oh, I am.
He was ready to kind of give us the lowdown. I bet he's just
Yeah.
giving us the whole plot right now.
Oh, I can't take a
Definitely.
screenshot because it includes your last name, Jill.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Did
I-
I hide my thing?
Here.
Nope. Rename.
Wait, hold up.
Okay, I'm just gonna make it Jill.
Oh, he disappeared. No, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter
no, he
anymore.
lost Wi-Fi.
He lost Wi-Fi.
Well, he might join back up. I don't know. We'll see.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah, he already stayed longer than he said he could, so I'm optimistic.
Well, I just texted him. I was like, "Hey, do you need to go?" Like,
Yeah,
No.
did he say anything?
he didn't text me back.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. I'm happy to talk with you guys as long as possible. Like I said, I just upgraded it because I'm done with these multiple Zoom calls.
Yeah, I gotcha.
No, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
As long as we're willing to do this at least once a month, I'm like, okay, this is worth it.
That's possible with planning.
Well, now, so I'm gonna send you like I did this week, my entire month when I know my month, and just
Okay.
go. Here's my November. Boom, boom, boom.
Great.
Up. Mitchell just said standby.
Stand
Okay.
by.
Bloody
Stand back.
Mary he said Bloody Mary took out my internet. LOL. Stand by.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Bloody Mary knows.
Bloody Mary's got us. We've said Bloody Mary at least more
But we
than
haven't
3
said
times.
it 3 consecutive times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I have.
Hmm.
I think I have.
But you
I'm gonna
didn't
listen
say
to
it. You
recording.
didn't say it in like the playful way that like Kate Mara's character says it.
Right.
You
and
want
you
me to
haven't
say it
you
3
haven't
times?
you haven't drugged anybody with Rohypnol as far to my
Yeah, well,
knowledge,
that's
so
true.
you're probably in the clear,
For
buddy.
this movie, yes. For every other thing, do you want me to say it 3 times?
Perhaps.
Bloody Mary.
See, it's not going to work because you're not saying it into a mirror.
Bloody
Out.
Mary.
Might as well just say Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Developers,
Does that negate my Beetlejuice?
developers. Sorry.
Huh?
Wait, does my Beetlejuice get canceled out by your Beetlejuice? Because you
I
said
don't
it
know.
3 times and I said it 3 times.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Nobody's around me. The dog's asleep outside the door now that I blocked him.
Sophie is not near me either.
The dog is literally sideways boy outside the door
Aw,
now that I've blocked him out.
so
I will be right
special.
back.
Okay. Do you think?
Word. Do your thing.
I already had to pee, so I get it.
I know. Yeah. Well, we've been imbibing pretty
I know.
well ourselves.
There might be some parts I need to cut.
About?
Well, just length.
Oh, sure. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, we're going through it, man. We're getting through
We're
this.
going through it. That's fine.
This dang
Well,
movie.
and let's face it, I'm a lazy editor, so this probably might still be an hour and a half or whatever it
Yep.
is.
I feel it.
So, you know,
Whew. Do you have work tomorrow?
technically yes.
Just
10:30.
technically. AM?
Yeah,
Okay. So you can sleep in a little bit.
I've got Paul Feinbaum show.
Paul Feinbaum. How's
Not
Paul
bad.
Feinbaum doing? Yeah.
He's the finest of bombs.
Sure. Of course.
Yeah,
Always is.
yeah,
Always will be.
yeah.
How do you feel about Pat McAfee on the fucking college game day stuff? I'm
Literally,
kinda
I haven't watched Game Day in forever.
Yeah. Okay.
And
God, I wasn't
then-
sure.
And then when I see Paul Feinbaum show, I always laugh at the same thing because his hashtag is PMS Live.
Yeah. Hell
So I haven't actually listened to him. Like I've seen him on things.
yeah.
I haven't actually heard his voice in forever.
I gotcha.
So he said stand by.
We're standing by. Well, it's
Yeah.
sitting, but you know.
Very stood by.
Oh, yeah.
Oi.
I
How
do
you doing?
technically have work tomorrow.
I do not.
Yeah, how are you guys doing? What do you need to do? What time do you need out?
Oh,
No, we're fine on that.
yeah, we're fine with
Okay.
that. It's more of a just energy.
Tomorrow,
level,
I
so
have work tomorrow, but like
I do not.
it's not a big deal.
Well,
Like-
that's what we were just saying is I have work tomorrow. I have to be at work at 10:30.
Oh, I have to
Which
be at work at 8.
Yeah, well, my 10:30. I'm saying that as like, oh, I have to be at work at 10:30. I'm fine. Like, besides yesterday sucked, but
Yeah, because you said you passed out, right?
oh, that was Friday night.
Uh,
So I was supposed to watch this movie Friday night. Sorry, I also have like a cut on my eyelid that's
Oh,
driving me
no.
insane.
It's no
aw,
good.
It's literally like that big, but because it's on my eyelid, it drives me insane.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. So Friday night, I was supposed to watch this movie. My GP Joe and my AD Adam invited me out. Joe, long story short, to give you the spiel of what's happening, his wife suggested they go to marriage counseling.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
When he finally agreed to go to marriage counseling, and they also have a 2-year-old, by the way.
Okay. Yep.
She cheated on him.
Oh
Ooh.
no! And he found that out in marriage counseling.
No, he found that out before marriage counseling, but then they
Okay.
went to marriage counseling to try to figure it out.
Mhm.
And versus what she tells him outside of marriage counseling is, oh, we should try to work this out. We should try to work this out. When they get to marriage counseling, she's just like,
over.
oh, you don't respect me like this. You don't do this. You don't do that. You yell at me constantly and everything like that. And what his situation is she's also held the fact that if she were to get divorced, she would file for custody of their kid.
Oh.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, it's a long, complicated thing, to the fact that on Friday we were talking about it a lot, and it was like, hey, I visited Claire after work and was like, I just need to see you.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just
That's
need
like
to-
that's
I just need to.
it's a lot of yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Uh-oh.
You're mute.
Yeah, you're
You're
mute.
Mute.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you now.
All right. Okay. Good. Hey. My internet went out, and I don't know why.
Oh.
So
Bloody Mary.
that's pretty exciting.
Bloody Mary.
Ha ha ha.
Sounds right. Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Okay, can I predict the ending? Was the
Yes.
question
Yes.
that I was served, right?
Yes. And I think
Okay.
We're very
Um,
excited to hear your answer.
Okay, so set me up here. What basically tee me up for what has just happened, and then let me see how I think the movie will be resolved.
Okay. So, Buck has died.
Yeah.
Siblings Sam and David know that there's still some unanswered connections to the 1969 Bloody Mary murder, as we now know.
Right.
But they don't
Yes.
know everything about who was there that night. Because, like I said, Grace is not giving any names. So they decide to split up. Sam goes to Grace's place. David goes to the
Oh
archives.
no. Let's just call it what it is at this point. At this point, this is the spot where I said I know who did it.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out who
Gotcha.
was the guy that Mary was with that night. That's the question.
That's the question.
Okay, that's who we're trying to. Okay, that's the part of the ending we want to figure out. Who killed
Yeah.
Mary?
Buck,
Because-
Tom,
Okay.
Roger, and Heather have died.
They all had
Okay.
some sort of connections to the 1969 murders, mostly their parents.
Hmm.
We also, at this point, get
Okay.
a. Go ahead. Oh wait, if you
I
know
have
it,
a
go
prediction.
ahead.
Go for it, man.
I don't know how, but I think the stepdad is somehow involved, either the stepdad himself or the stepdad's parents, because of the time jump. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like you guys brought him up. He's running for mayor. But he's just hasn't been mentioned since then. So I think there is some kind of payoff there, and Kate Mara survives. That's all I got.
Well,
That's what
we'll
you got,
let
huh?
you know.
Was that
We'll let you know if you're right.
That's
Oh,
what
what,
you
are we
got,
just
huh?
gonna go through it now? Is that do we leave him in
Yeah.
suspense?
Yeah, we leave
Yeah,
him in
we're
suspense.
leaving him in this.
Okay,
in
word. All
suspense.
right, I like that. Don't look at
Yeah.
the Wikipedia summary.
Yeah, don't
Mitchell.
Wikipedia.
Damn
I'm
it.
not.
man.
I'm not. But I
Alright.
think the stepdad is involved somehow. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and Kate Mara survives specifically.
Tamara survives.
Kate Mara survives.
Yeah.
Kate Mara
Yes.
survives. Rooney probably died in the background. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
We could-
Nah,
probably.
Rooney.
Let's go.
Rooney didn't
Rooney's
matter.
a footnote in any of
Yeah,
this.
Rooney didn't matter.
I don't think she had any speaking
Yeah.
lines, frankly. Yeah.
So the
no,
brother
she was
goes-
classmate number 3.
Yeah. So David goes to the archives. He finds out the information, but they don't reveal it to the viewer. He goes home. He tries calling Sam. The phone it doesn't work. Then the phone rings, and I'm like, "Oh, is this a I Know What You Did Last Summer or Scream ripoff moment now?" So he goes to pick up the phone, and before we can determine if anyone is there, a Ziploc bag is thrown over David's head. He's taken down for the count. So, oh no, somebody's onto them.
Yeah, it's a man in a hooded jacket, baseball cap, hooded jacket.
He
You can't
actually
see
looks
face.
like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right.
That's
villain.
why I said it was a ripoff of I Know You Did What You Did Last Summer.
Yes. This definitely that. Yeah.
So Kate Mara goes with Grace to the high school. She leaves a message because they've kind of put it all to she's starting to figure it out. They get to the high school. Grace is like, I'm not going in there. Let me light up my giant bong. And proceeds to get very high. Giant bong.
Big bong.
Kate Mara I see somebody inside. I'm sorry, Sam, not Kate Mara. Sam sees somebody inside. She's like, David, let me in. Obviously not David. So she climbs through an open window, having learned her lesson from Heather's death that sometimes the best action is to actually do something. So she breaks into the high school, and at this point, because of her hauntings with Mary or her connection, she knows where Mary is buried. Although, like I said, they're still figuring out who was the guy that she was with. So she goes to the still under construction, cordoned off personnel only
30 years.
Actually, it
of the
looks
high
exactly the
school.
same as it did 35 years ago. Yep.
30
No one
years.
has been in there. Yeah.
30 years,
Never
not
touched it.
35.
Okay.
30
sure.
They made a
years, even
point.
though it's technically
They
35.
made
It
a
hasn't been
point.
touched since 1969 or 1974. We're not
Perfectly
sure.
intact. She finds the trunk. She opens the trunk, and there's Mary's body, perfectly mummified with hair.
Yeah, she has a
And,
perfect head of
Yes,
hair.
she does
It's
have
just
a hair.
another skeleton lawn decoration with a wig glued on.
Yep. So she picks up her bones.
Yeah,
to which,
and then
this
she
is where Andre
tripped.
lost it.
This is amazing. So she picks up her bones, and then I think the hooded figure shows up and starts chasing her, and
Yep.
she trips, falls over, and then she hurriedly tries to bones are all over the place. She hurriedly has to oh gosh, picks up her rib cage and
Yeah.
tries to dash out it's a
in the
fucking,
blanket and stashes it
She
into the
trips over a
blanket.
mop bucket. No,
What's that?
she trips over a mop
the
bucket.
mop bucket. Okay,
Yes.
yes, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's exactly what happens. And I had a note too, oh, just toss her bones anywhere. It's fine.
It's fine. She'll
Yeah,
be fine.
just
Yeah, exactly.
Fills them. So it's no longer an intact skeleton.
Yep.
She gets outside, and she can't wake up Grace. It's not even clear if Grace is alive anymore. She's just
Nope.
that zonked on the devil's lettuce.
We just assume she's dead.
She's passed out in the van. Yeah.
And what was annoying was that she's carrying the body, drops it again,
Yep.
picks it up, and she's like, Grace, opens the back door, puts the body in the thing. Grace closes the door, goes around to the other side of the van, opens the door. Grace, and it's 1 minute and 30 seconds of her just shouting Grace. And then she realizes either Grace is dead or unconscious. We don't know. But they have to get to the cemetery. And the hooded figure is chasing them. We get to the cemetery.
And she also talks to somebody on the phone.
Yeah, she calls David again, and they pick up, but it's not David.
It's Bill, the stepfather.
Yeah, she calls her dad out of desperation.
And it's just no, the stepfather's just what's going on? What's happening? And she's like, I'm headed to the cemetery. I found Mary's body. I
Mary
need to
Banner.
make this Mary Banner's body. I need to make this stop. I need to bury her. I'm going to the cemetery. And he's like, did you tell your mother? And she's like, no, I didn't tell my mother. And then he goes I'll tell her. We'll meet you there.
Yeah. So her stepdad's showing up. They get to the cemetery. She carries the body. She finds the grave. Dad shows up. He's like, here, I'll take that shovel. And the whole time I'm thinking, how is she going to bury this body? The ground is frozen. Because this entire movie, it's been winter.
The
in
entire
Utah.
time.
Snow on the ground. It's not Christmas, but it's also not New England autumn either. There is snow on the ground.
Right.
And it's Utah.
It's Utah. So dad starts digging in the grave, and I guess his stepdad starts digging in the grave, and I guess because he's a man and bigger, he can get through the frozen ground. And he brings up you didn't tell your mom about this, right? And at this point, if you haven't figured it out, Dad was the one who accidentally shoved Mary to her death and locked
You
her
got
in a trunk.
it. Let's
Fucking
Yeah.
Mitchell. Got it again.
And he, she's like, no, I didn't talk to anybody. And then he swings the shovel at her and knocks her down. And he
Knock
starts
her
going.
the fuck out.
Well, no, she falls down. She gets back up. And he's
But
like, you should have just left it well alone. I'm like, yeah, she should have just buried the body, and then it wouldn't be anybody's problem because she buried the goddamn fucking body. And
she
he's
shouldn't
like,
have said
yeah.
anything. And also, he knocked her the fuck out. It's ridiculous. He hit her in the face with a shovel,
Yeah.
and she's just like, I'm
On the
fine still,
ground.
but
Yep. He says she's like, as I said, he should have left well enough alone. You shouldn't have told anyone. Your brother wouldn't be dead. And I'm like, wait, David's dead? He killed David?
yeah,
Yep. David's
he's blocked
dead.
his face.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
time out.
suffocated.
David
He
was the
suffocated
brother?
him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whoa.
We never actually got
it.
like it was very. It could have gone either way. Like we saw him suffocating with the bag, but like
Right.
he dragged the body.
I
off
thought he
screen.
was going to show up at this
Yeah,
point.
me
I thought
too.
so he was going to show
Yeah,
up too,
yeah.
but like
I
I think I
we
was
all
like,
thought-
oh no,
yeah.
he's just dead. That was it. He died.
He's
Yep.
gone.
So there's a chase sequence through the cemetery. Grace shows back up again, but Dad like shoves her down. She gets knocked out, and then he captures Sam, knocks her down again, drags her to the grave because he's gonna bury her with Mary's body.
Mind you,
And-
this is Tubi, so I get a commercial break right at
Yeah,
this
we got
point.
Oh, yeah,
commercial
me too.
breaks.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't recall exactly how, but stuff comes in like the way that it's all going down with like the bear, like digging the grave. They have the bones. I think either some dirt falls on Mary's bones or he puts Mary's bones in the grave, and that's how her spirit is kind of avenged.
So he puts the bones in the grave because he's
Right.
like, this is the perfect plan. If I bury Mary's bones, nobody
With
will
you.
suspect anything. Well,
No,
yeah, with her.
Sam.
Yeah, but like nobody will suspect anything because they already think she's gone. They're not going to dig up her grave because they already think she's gone. So he puts her bones in the grave, and then
Yeah. The car radio, which is nowhere near any of this, starts to play the song that has followed all of Mary's victims. And out sachets Mary, looking fresh as a rose, like the day she died. And Bill, who's supposed to be in his late 50s, early 60s, sees her, somewhat seduced yet horrified. Mary slow dances with him, leans in for a kiss, pulls out, and she looks like Reagan from The Exorcist, and drags his ass to hell
With pestilence.
with pestilence
like
by
a
breathing in his
green-
face.
it was like this
Yes.
weird CGI like bug
She, like
beam.
belches on
Yeah,
him.
yeah. It was definitely like a bug belch,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's how he gets dragged
I
to
don't really know
hell.
why the bugs came into play there, but yeah, right. I
Yep,
would have figured
yep.
blood. I figured
Yeah.
I would have drowned him in blood. Like,
Bloody
that would have
Mary.
been
Yeah.
what I would have
Cut to
gone
the-
with, but that's okay. I don't know.
Cut to the morning sun rises off the distance, and the paramedics are there, and they're saying Bill died of a heart attack, so he didn't
Right.
really get dragged to hell. And Sam's there putting her hat on, her head is bloodied. Grace shows up, and they're like, "It's over."
Oh,
End
this is my
of
favorite part.
movie.
No, this is my favorite part because Grace literally looks at her and is just like, "Are you gonna be okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm sitting there going, "The fuck I am."
Yeah.
Like, no, I
Full
saw a
bucket
fucking
of trauma
ghost.
right there. You
A
saw
fucking ghost killed
your
my
stepdad tried
stepfather
to kill you, and then a ghost killed your stepdad and your brother. He also
and
killed
her
your
brother. Yes.
Yeah, no confirmation that David's actually dead, but stepdad said it, so I guess it's true.
Okay, so my question is, having seen the first Urban Legends and I haven't seen the sequel. I remember the first one being like kids got murdered, and they were like modeled after whatever, like
Urban Legends.
spooky Urban Legends stuff.
They
Yeah,
address that
exactly.
in the film. Even they're just like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, this
they-
was just a
A
college
copycat
professor
killer.
that was killing people off of Urban Legends."
So
Right.
and like for a while, David kind of, instead of like Bloody Mary, he's like, no, it's a serial killer, or like
It
it's
has
copycat.
to be this guy,
But-
copycat, whatever.
but in the movie, it ends up being an actual ghost or vengeful spirit.
Yes.
Like, right? Like
is.
Mary.
At least half of
Okay.
them.
Mary is a ghost.
Yeah, Mary is
It
a ghost,
Mary.
and they no sell it. Like she killed those people. You know what I mean? There's no curtain rug of pulling. Like actually, the tanning salon guy like got killed
Well,
by.
and that's what my question is too, because I also want to know this is because there was this guy who was trying to kill everybody and cover his trail. Do we think it was just Mary, or do we think some of them were this Bill?
Well, if they did that, they played it way too subtly. I
Yeah,
suppose,
right.
right?
Right.
Like,
No, and I
think
agree
it's all
completely with that.
Bill because the way they like so like
you think it's all Bill? What?
You think it's all Bill?
No. It's not. It's all Mary. Sorry.
Yeah,
We know
okay,
it's not.
yeah.
So the reason we know it's not Bill is because they set him up as like being the dressed, like the I know what you
Yeah.
did last summer killer.
Yeah. He definitely killed David and tried to
Yes.
kill Sam.
Yeah, he killed David and
he
tried to
says
kill his stepdaughter.
I killed like David had to die, and now
Yeah.
you do too, basically, or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree, and I think that it was all Mary besides that, but like part of it too was just kind of like, maybe.
I frankly think that's giving this movie way too much credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. I never especially like the spider murder.
Maybe I'm trying
like,
to be smarter than this movie.
Oh, right. Like I don't think that they made it
yeah.
pretty like clear. I guess that
Yeah,
like
okay.
like she shows up for a flash when the guy gets his dick blown off. You know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
She comes
I'm
out
like-
of the bed. It's like yeah.
I'm just
Dick blown off.
confused. So like I appreciate that Mary never kind of goes after Sam because
Yeah.
like your sister's in trauma, but
Yeah.
like
She tried to help her. Yeah, I agree completely with that.
in a weird way.
Yeah,
but it's
well,
like
just tell me. Come on, girl.
It's
Right.
weird. So that's Urban Legends Bloody Mary.
Yeah, I will say like we didn't
Made
really
me wanna
touch on
watch
this. Like
Supernatural.
it wraps up in like 30 seconds.
Done.
Like
Yes.
like the reveal. Like I would say that like by the time the stepdad is revealed as the killer, you're probably about like maybe 3 minutes away from the credits.
I actually think
Yeah, that's about right.
it doesn't wrap up in 30 seconds. It wraps up in 3 minutes because it just didn't want to end. It was pretty much just like, oh, he's the killer. He knocked you out. He's chasing after you. And then
Big,
happened.
very abbreviated fight. We spent longer talking about the fight than the fight actually happened for sure.
Yeah, right.
And then next scene, Kate Mara is on the on an ambulance bench outside.
Are
Wow,
you
that was
gonna be
wild. Are you
okay?
gonna be okay? Yeah, I'll be okay. Credits.
And
That's it.
No, my fucking
Aw.
stepdad tried to kill me.
yeah, my brother is dead. My twin brother is dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
Yeah, twin brother's
Like
gone.
literally, I
Dunzo.
love that in movies where it's just like, are you gonna be okay? Fuck, I am.
Yeah.
The fuck, I am.
The fuck I am gonna be okay.
I
Yeah,
realize that
like,
in a
this
way I'm
sucked.
asking for more of this movie, and I don't want it to be interpreted that way. I
Yeah, they
think
want
it's,
Bloody
plenty
Mary
of
too,
runtime.
which is going to be another urban legend about some girl from 40 years in the past, but really 45 years in the past.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I think that says it all about this movie. They didn't care to do the math to actually like make sure it made sense. So you get what you don't pay for.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. I'm trying to look at it from the appeal of a horror movie, and it's like so it's not scary.
No,
It is funny sometimes. Like I fucking laughed out loud.
The
hard
bones.
twice. So that I think this movie succeeds at being a fun bad movie to watch, not sober. You know what I mean? Like
laughed at the guy pissing on the fence, and
Yeah.
it was just like, really,
right.
really,
Yeah.
we're gonna blow his dick off? Like,
Yeah.
really?
He even like wait, Andre said it. He looks at the sign. He's like, and then
He knows.
continues to pee on it.
He knows.
Yep.
'Cause
Yep.
And
That's what
he
you
was the
do.
guy. No,
I
he
love
was
it.
the
It's
guy
just kinda
that
show
literally-
don't tell. Amazing.
What?
Just this,
like 2 people died, and he was probably the most like paid attention to that shit, and goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm not gonna die from this crazy shit." And then he sees a sign that says "high voltage." Piss.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I would have liked if Sam's friends actually supported her and were kind of in on it, because killing off the brother just is like, okay, well, what did this really add to the
Yep.
story other than,
Yep.
well, my brother's dead and we're not really gonna undress.
Your brother was right about
address
not.
this.
Your brother was right about not trusting your stepdad. That's what we learned.
That's why he's a pube.
Yep.
Yeah. He's a
That's
pube.
why he's
Very,
cute.
very
Should've-
cute
should've
behavior
been-
for sure.
Should have been down to help her, wasn't, and yeah.
All right,
True.
ratings.
I'm gonna. Okay, can I just jump in? I guess I was the first
Yeah,
introduced,
go ahead.
right?
You're good.
I'm giving this one a 0.62
Fuck?
What?
6'2"?
Yeah,
0.
6'2". Yeah, 0.62.
No,
Out
but
of 5.
0.62.
Yeah, 0.
Okay.
Too low?
Fine. We'll just round it down to a half star. I'm giving it a half. I'm
Yeah.
giving it a. I'm
Mitch is
giving
0.
it 1/2. Oh man, I should have had my metric ready to go. Should have Rohypnol pills out of 10 or out of 5
Oh.
rather. Sorry. There you go.
5.
Rohypnol
that's
powder.
Powder, whatever.
Powder.
Grams.
Powder.
I don't know. You're right.
Jill, what do you got?
Yeah. I'll rank it a little higher. I'll give it like a 1.5 star.
Wow, that is high.
Damn.
It
I
sounds
mean,
entertaining.
it's
I'm
not
not gonna
the-
lie.
It was stupid and like, but like the depths are just so like why, but like in the fun way. Like it's
I had fun watching it, but I think
Yeah.
honestly a lot of it is due to.
I didn't pay to I didn't
And this
pay to
isn't
watch
me being
it.
cheesy. This is because I had fun watching it with you, Jill. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, okay.
That's
Alright.
it. Like, and that's a lot of what the enjoyment
Yeah,
about it.
I
Like,
had fun watching it with you. So that's I'll give, it's really a 0.5, but half a point then for watching with Andre, and then another half a point for me coining the phrase, the phrase "you're
pubing
stop
it
being
up.
a prude."
Your
A
pube.
pube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, fair enough.
yeah.
I feel like that score is justified then.
Wow. Okay.
I
gave
mean,
this-
out of 5, like 1.5 out of 5.
This isn't even close to the worst movie I've watched
No.
for this podcast.
No,
Not
no,
even
no, no,
close.
no.
Oh.
This isn't even the
Not even
worst
close.
movie I'm going to watch in a week. Next week, I think me and my friends are either going to watch The Covenant, or if you were a Cartoon Network kid, Scary Godmother's stupid CGI Halloween fest.
Okay, The Covenant is a better movie than this.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean, it's got Rob Zombie.
Are you
doing some
ready? Are you
music.
ready for my rating?
Yeah, give your rating,
Yeah,
Mike.
give
I'm
your
sorry.
rating.
We've been
I gave The
stalling you.
Silence a 0.5 out of 5, The Mitchell
Yes.
0 out of 5. And I was thinking to myself, oh, this is really just a 0.5 out of 5. And then I realized I hated this more than The Silence.
Okay.
So this is a fucking 0.
Damn.
It's a fucking 0 locked cases out of 5.
Okay. All right. Word.
I didn't even
was
give my out of
terrible.
1.5 out of X.
Oh, it was
Pubes, Jill,
terrible.
pubes.
It was
Pubes.
so bad. Like the CGI is terrible. The
Yep.
story terrible. I
Uh-huh.
predicted it from the halfway point.
Sure.
Like the only thing that was decent, I say, is because of Kate Mara trying.
I did not think she tried.
Oh, I think she tried
I did not
because
think
the
she was-
script, everybody else in this movie didn't fucking try.
I mean, her bad acting is part of the charm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
don't-
That's
And
what I'm
the
saying,
thing.
though.
Was it not trying, or was it just bad acting? Right.
I think
And
It's tough,
so
right? Because
early.
you're right.
Yeah.
That's true,
Right.
and that's a good point. Because like it's not fair to compare
No,
that to like House of Cards, right? Which is many
Yeah.
years
Right.
later. And
Yeah.
she had a bad script.
Obviously,
Let's
she
go
had
with
a
that.
terrible script. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not her fault. This
awful.
movie is bad. But I also was like,
Well, and
it's
also
not like she's
seeing-
lifting it up at all. you
And
know?
also seeing the cast, Ed Marinaro, I'm seeing that going, yeah, he's the fucking murderer.
Yeah, right. Sure,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
that can happen. That can.
I
happen.
think
The
this
coach
is
of
if
Blue
you.
Mountain State is going to be the murderer.
I think it's more like, and this is like when I watch if I feel like the appeal of these movies, and frankly, I don't really watch many of the good ones on my free time. I feel like when I watch these movies, like if it's like a kill spree, like
Mhm.
I kind of want to I want to hate the characters that are being murdered enough that it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? When like, oh man, this guy got what he deserved, or you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like it's
Tom got what he deserved pissing on the fence. That's
well, sure, but like
And
you
so
didn't
did-
care
so
about
did
him. He was just
Roger.
a dumbass. You know what I mean? Like
And
there was
yeah,
Buck.
no-
so did Roger.
Not
Roger
Buck's
got-
dog, but Buck did too.
Yeah,
dog
Buck's,
either.
Buck's
But,
dog
like,
didn't deserve any of this.
Heather didn't deserve to
Heather
die
didn't
either.
you know,
deserve that.
like and I know Cabin in the Woods is like an inverse on this, but Cabin in the Woods plays to those tropes very well,
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
you have a lot of time with these characters, learn through all their tropes, and you get invested in their stories enough to where
Cabin
when
in the
they
Woods
get
is
killed,
a
it's
terrible,
it's a
terrible
heartbreaker, it's like,
representation
ooh.
of this.
What's up?
Because Cabin in the Woods is a terrible representation
Sure.
of this because every trope fell to those tropes.
Yeah, for sure. But even then, when they wrote those to be tropey, I'm saying that they were even still like those characters. Yes, they were tropey, but it was like, oh man, like it was still
and
exciting. You know what I
even
mean?
so in the case of Cabin in the Woods, with what you're saying, they're not those tropes until they get to the cabin because of interference from the people who are kind of
Yes,
pulling the
yes,
strings.
yes.
His
Like the
bong
fact that
was
Chris
the-
Hemsworth is like the hot jock, but he's not an idiot. He's actually very smart. stuff like that. And then Machinations. I would say that if you're looking in the market for like, I'm hanging out with my friends, we don't want to watch something scary horror. I want fun horror.
See, that's
You
what,
can find better movies out there.
Yeah.
well, and that's what I
uh,
say about watch Urban Legend. Like watch
Watch
the
Urban
original
Legend.
Urban Legend.
Is that what this was? Is that basically what that was going for, but way better? Like, what do you think, Mitchell?
Yeah, I mean, look, having not seen the movie here, like I feel like almost, and I'm not sure if this was brought up between y'all before. I almost feel like this movie was written completely separate from Urban Legends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when someone saw the script, they're like, cool, we'll produce it and then slap the Urban Legends thing on there. So when we put this in stores, people are like, oh, it's a sequel, may as well buy it.
Well,
Like
and
it's gonna help
especially-
for sales.
Especially when they get to Grace's and they talk about the fact that this Urban Legend thing was a professor serial killing people based on urban legends. That's when I was like, oh, cool. They just wanted to try like to tie
That's
it
their
to...
one throwaway
bare
line. Like, it's
minimum.
literally
Yeah.
one line that's thrown away. It doesn't
Right.
end.
Right. And so it reminds me of how the most recent Cloverfield movie that came out a couple years ago on Netflix.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
that was not a Cloverfield movie initially. And they just made it one
Well, and that
to give it some juice.
that reminds
Mhm.
me of American Psycho 2, where it was a completely different
Oh,
script.
I didn't know about that one.
They
Yeah.
did it with
Oh.
Last House on the Left too, as well.
Yeah. So American
It's very
Psycho 2.
common in horror, for sure.
Yeah, well, American Psycho 2 stars Mila Kunis, and literally like
Mm.
halfway through the production, they're like, "Oh, this kind of sounds a little bit like American Psycho. We'll make her the daughter of Norman Bateman."
Ugh.
That's where that.
Who did
I've
he
never seen
fuck?
that.
I mean,
I've
Patrick
never
Bateman,
seen that.
but sure, yes.
Yeah.
Patrick Bateman. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that makes more sense.
I wanted to include it in our 5 horror bad movies, and I decided against it because a lot of people kind of in the bad movie community know that.
Okay.
So I wanted to do
Mm.
something different. That's
Mine
why.
is something a little more.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I think there's a lot better movies out there if you want a stupid bad horror movie like Leprechaun 2,
Yeah.
any of the
Leprechaun
later
5.
Nightmare on Elm Street,
Right.
4 and onward
Yeah.
are pretty
Yeah.
are in that market. Freddy versus Jason, Jason X.
Oh,
but
get
like
ready for our next bad movie.
but I would say that if
I'm
you're
excited. I'm
not
excited.
if you don't like horror movies, but you want to watch something for free with your friends with alcohol, if you're of legal drinking age, that is not scary, but like it's low hanging fruit. Bloody Mary is your made for TV
See,
movie.
Because it's on Tubi, I would rather watch Urban Legend or Urban Legend Final Cut, which
Yeah,
is
watch
both
those.
on
Oh, sure.
Tubi. Both
we
are
haven't
of those
seen.
are on Tubi.
But I don't know. Looking at the poster for it, you get what's on the tin.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a better Supernatural episode out
Yes,
there of
right.
this
Yeah.
movie than the movie itself.
All
Just
right.
put the Winchesters on it.
The last bad movie I watched was The Silence,
Yes.
which starred Stanley Tucci.
The Tooch.
The Tooch. It got me to a question that nobody else could answer. And so I kind of wanted to bring it up to you guys.
Okay.
Actors currently living, top 5 that you would have a drink with.
That I would have a drink with?
Yes. Have a drink with.
Currently
top
living.
5. Currently living.
Hmm.
Because the Tooch was like my number 5. I feel like we'd have
seems-
a nice, yeah,
Yeah.
we'd have a nice glass of Pinot. We'd discuss some things that like, okay, yeah, I would talk to you about this. And it brought it up to me last episode, but of course, because I was by myself, I was like, I don't want to just ask this to the random people.
Sure.
So I
Well-
want to ask it to you guys.
And this will be pretty freeform because like I feel like I have to like come up with it as I go, but I just know that one person that's definitely
I tried to give you a heads up.
I know.
I
I was
have-
trying
I
to
have-
pod, man.
I don't have 5, but I have a couple answers.
Yeah, I know one of them immediately is Jack Black, like
Oh,
period.
that's a good
Jack
one.
Black
Yeah.
was my number 1.
Yeah, like he's my number one.
He's
and
my
I think
number
that's,
one.
I think he's like a lot of people's number ones, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
he's it.
Yeah.
The
It's
Tooch is my
expected.
number 5.
Who is? Oh, Tooch is number 5.
Tooch is number 5. Jack Black.
Yep.
I put Jennifer Lawrence as number 4.
Okay. I don't know if I agree, but I can see it. That's fine.
Yeah, J Law, I feel like we could have like a drink or two and like have a good
She seems cool.
conversation.
Yeah.
Number 2 is obviously Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Okay.
No,
I don't
I
hate
can't
it.
even get through that. No, I can't get through that with a straight face.
Chris Pratt, huh? So
No,
what was it like voicing Mario?
Yeah, Mario. 3 and 2. That's no. Yeah, because I got.
Oh man, I have to rank them too. That's so tough.
Well, this is why I did. I gave you time. I texted
I
you.
I'm not
Uh,
ranking mine, but
yeah.
I can
Okay,
give you. I think I can
don't
give you
rank
5.
yours. Go ahead.
All right, Jill, do you have some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Diane Keaton.
Okay.
Okay.
She seems really cool. She's Annie
Yeah.
Hall. Like
Yeah.
she's got a really fascinating film career.
Yeah.
You bring that up, and I just remember that Jack Nicholson's my number 3.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, huh? I
Someone's
thought
gotta
about
give.
him too.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be Elijah Wood. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it has to
That'd
be
be
someone
fun.
from Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be fun. He's not on my list, but that'd be fun.
Yep.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay.
He seems like a really chill dude.
I
Yeah.
don't even think he's in my top 10. I'm sorry.
Annie Hathaway.
Okay.
Call her Annie.
Annie.
She said that.
Okay.
To call her that.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. Okay. That'd be a fun one.
How many is that? Is that 4?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you got to 4, yeah.
Okay.
Right?
And then
Yeah.
like, I mean, just to top it, round it out with a 5th, I'll say Christopher Walken.
Ooh, Christopher Walken would be fun.
I want, I want to talk to him about Dance, that Fatboy Slim music video.
Okay.
Jack Black would also be in mine.
Yeah, well, Jack Black was my
yeah.
number 1, where it was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So
Yeah.
I've got the Tooch, J Law, Jack Nicholson, blank, and Jack Black. The blank is Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
That's a
Okay,
good
that's
one.
a good one.
I
That
think
is a
he'd
good
be
one.
fun to have a drink with and just talk to.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Andre.
All right. Harrison Ford's in there for me.
Ooh,
Good
good
one.
talk. Good talk.
Let's see. Ryan Gosling probably.
Okay.
So I'm at 3 with Jack Black, Harrison
Yep.
Ford, Ryan Gosling. This I feel like, and this one I'm a little iffy on, but I'm more like I just want to pick her brain. Robin Wright. I don't know why she's on
Ooh.
the list.
Oh, Buttercup.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
Buttercup
would have a nice glass of red, I think.
for sure. No,
Yeah.
would happy to
No,
to
that's
grab a
that's
glass
I
of wine with
I
her,
mean I just
exactly.
told you that Stanley Tucci would have a nice Pinot. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
like I would have a good glass of Pinot with him. He's not one of those guys that I'm like expecting to drink with. I'm
No,
expecting to
no.
have a drink or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Robin
right.
Wright fits in that category, and I think that's a good call.
Okay. And then my last, I got the final one.
The final one.
I'll add Dick Van Dyke to mine.
Dick Van Dyke.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Is
a
he
fun
still
pick.
alive?
Yes.
He's
Okay.
very much alive.
I love it.
If I can't have Kermit the Frog, Dick Van Dyke is pretty
Dick Van
nice.
Dyke.
Yep.
I'm sorry I don't know that he's still alive.
That's funny.
He's very joyously in his late 90s.
I actually don't.
Oh yeah, no, he was at a baseball game recently. I'm sorry, I feel bad now. Yep.
And then my final pick, and this one is kind of iffy because I feel like he'd be fucking weird about it. But this is why I want this, right? It's Michael Cera. I want to have a drink with Michael
Okay.
Cera,
No, Michael Cera is a good choice. I thought
and it's
about him.
mostly just because, like,
I feel like the first few drinks, like, yeah, okay, that's a good conversation. When he
Right.
got to like 3 or 4, then it's kind of like, okay, what the fuck?
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
just
that
wanna
could
see
go
with a
either.
nice-
I feel like you could get
I
that
guess
with
it's like,
Daniel Radcliffe
I don't
too,
want to.
though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had actually.
Dan Rad.
So to answer this
Rad.
question properly, I actually would probably swap Dan Radcliffe with
I also
Michael
put
Cera
Paul
because he seems
Dano
like a
in there.
genuine
Yeah.
chill dude, right?
Yeah,
Paul Dano, also a great pick too, but more
you're
like
just thinking of Swiss
I
Army Man.
want to like hang out with Michael Cera and like what is like grabbing a few drinks with Michael Cera look
A
like?
day
I'm
in the
life
curious.
with
It's
Michael
out of
Cera.
curiosity, you know.
Michael
That's where I'm
Cera,
at.
if you're a long listener, we're telling you you're weird and we like it.
See,
Yes.
you just made me think of somebody that I might add to my list, and that's Timothy Oliphant. Because
Okay,
he's
that's a
another
good choice.
he's
Yep.
another person that like what after a few drinks you're just kind of like, okay,
Yep,
okay,
yep,
yeah.
Who's your one dead celebrity that you would want to get a drink with if you could like go back in time?
Hmm. Hmm.
Dead celebrity.
It's tough.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm stuck with. The
Like-
first name that popped in my head was Charlie Chaplin, but I don't know what he sounds like even.
Charlie
You can
Chaplin.
hear him talk
Kind of.
somewhere.
Yeah,
I
kind
think
of.
like his voice. I know I think the Great Dictator is a silent film, but I think there's not a
Oh,
lot of talking,
man.
but I think you hear his voice in it.
It would
anyway.
probably be depressing as fuck.
Okay.
Ernest Hemingway.
Ernie.
Wow.
The goddamn man has a Hemingway daiquiri named
Wow.
after him.
Papa?
The man can drink. Yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
he could definitely drink. Like you could get a few
he's not
drinks
an
in.
actor, but
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so we want to stick with actors, right? Okay, got it. That's also like
okay.
my follow-up question.
Didn't
okay.
I say actor?
No, you
You
said
said
celebrity.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Because I
Papa
thought
fits in
Albert
that.
Einstein, like a cheesy answer, and I also thought Abraham Lincoln cheesy answer. But
I mean,
Yeah.
mine fits both ways because they were both a celebrity and an
Try again?
actor.
This also feels expected,
No.
but like Marlon Brando, I feel
Jim
like.
Henson
Okay, yeah.
Jim Henson is, yeah.
Or
right.
Yeah,
Carol
Jim
Spinney.
Henson, yeah. No, Jim Henson fits you completely.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I said Charlie Chaplin, but I think that was just the first name that popped in my head, not who I actually wanted.
Not like who you'd actually. Yeah. I got you. Oh, Christopher Lloyd. Done.
Isn't he still
Not
alive?
Christopher Lloyd. Fucking. Oh my God, Christopher Lee. Jesus Christ.
Christopher Lloyd's very much still alive.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Sorry. Not the curse, Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lee. I want
Christopher Lee, yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. Talk about his metal album.
Yeah, dude's got some stories for sure.
Yeah, he knows how to kill a person.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Oh, you've never heard this?
No, I have heard of this.
Okay,
but,
cool.
like, yeah. I'm trying to think. I'll stick with my Charlie Chaplin. I don't think that's the right answer, but I'll stick with it for now. Because I just can't think of somebody else.
That's fine. I put you on the spot.
I know, and I'm also 7 beers deep. I'm sure there's somebody else that I would put, but yeah, I'm at that point.
It's getting to that point in the evening.
It's getting to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's game for a movie.
Yeah.
We ask, are you game for a movie? I've been your host, Mike. I've been joined by
Andre.
And Jill.
Thank you guys very much for joining. We'll see you next time for Game for a Movie, where
All
we
right.
have another horror movie coming out.
Yeah.
Woo.
Thanks for listening, friends.
Bye.
Bye.